27th. I am Brian Feldman, and these are the stories making news.
The St. Louis Police Department tries new recruitment efforts. I'm Maria Aquino with the story.
I'm Debbie Monterrey.
Trash complaints in St. Louis County are piling up like uncollected garbage.
This is becoming a serious issue all over the county.
I'm Michael Calhoun with what the council's doing about it.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine mixed with clouds today. A breezy, warmer afternoon with a high of 69.
I'm Joe Pott. Cards came up short in their effort to sweep the Brewers yesterday at Busch. I've got details coming up in sports.
In CBS News, tornadoes ripped through Mississippi, causing widespread damage. We will have CBS News at the top of the hour.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Damage assessment teams are set to spread out across central and southern Mississippi after tornadoes decimated homes and businesses overnight. Randy Ratcliffe says he witnessed a twister in Lincoln County.
I seen the trees start kind of getting real rapid, and then it got really rapid. And then all of a sudden I heard popping, it sounded like a train coming, and that's when it come through.
Lincoln's Emergency Management Director, Chris Reed.
We're working through trees, getting through and power lines. Significant damage here in the county. And we're just asking for sightseers to please stay off the road as the county work crews are out and responders are out.
At least 20,000 customers have no power. The cruise ship, hit with an outbreak of hantavirus, continues its journey to Spain's Canary Islands, where many are trying to block it from docking. The captain says none of the remaining 150 passengers, including 17 Americans, is infected. Ruhi Sennett was among 30 who disembarked on a remote island in the South Atlantic. He says the captain misled them by announcing someone had died of natural causes.
Since we were not informed of any contagious disease, everyone was relaxed.
A federal judge has unsealed a suicide message from Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Jake Rosen.
CBS News has not independently verified the note, and the network has reached out to the FBI and Justice Department for comment. The scrawled note appears to read, "They investigated me for a month, found nothing, so 15-year-old charges resulted." The note also includes the phrases "time to say goodbye" and "no fun, not worth it."
Epstein's former cellmate claims he found the note after Epstein's first suicide attempt. He died weeks later. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani has applied for health insurance coverage through the World Trade Center program.
Giuliani is recovering from pneumonia after being listed in critical condition at a Florida hospital Sunday. His spokesman says Giuliani has been diagnosed with restrictive airway disease, a condition he says was linked to the time he spent at Ground Zero.
We asked that the airspace around the city of New York be sealed.
If he is approved, Giuliani would join more than 152,000 people enrolled in the World Trade Center health program, which covers the medical costs of people affected by the 9/11 attacks. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A new analysis finds the impact of President Trump's lower prescription drug pricing is mixed. KFF's Elizabeth Rosenthal.
There are a couple of bargains to be had, but most of all, it's kind of a lot of publicity for not much return for most patients. And that's kind of disappointing for all the lofty rhetoric that we hear.
Gas up another 2 cents to $4.56 a gallon today. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
It is 6:03 and we have partly cloudy skies. It's 42 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Brian Feldman. Arch City Defenders rested its case Wednesday in a lawsuit challenging Missouri's takeover of the St. Louis Police Department. The state says local control caused staffing shortages, but the plaintiff's criminologist pointed to Kansas City, where violent crime rose under state oversight. Co-plaintiff Mike Milton tells Fox 2 there's only one acceptable outcome.
The end goal is that it's completely reversed and that we can continue to have, or we can give back local control of the police department in the city of St. Louis so we can hold them accountable and also meet the needs of the people.
Court resumes this morning at 9. The judge not expected to rule immediately.
For the first time in the history of the St. Louis Police Department, it hosted a fast-track testing blitz. It's a hiring event to recruit the next generation of police officers.
Veteran police officer Darius Rutling on the department for 12 years, now assigned to the police academy. He says the number of people applying approaching the 100 mark this week.
I get to kind of mold a citizen into the mindset of a police officer. So I see that change of when they first come here and it's like, oh, a regular civilian, and change that mentality before we send them out to the street. So I like being a part of that process of helping them see the difference.
Rutling says potential recruits are able to take the physical and aptitude tests and oral interview. Once they get past that, they will have to return for a psychiatric evaluation and background check. Applicants cannot have a police record.
Clamping a boot on a car is one of the city's most effective tools to collect unpaid parking fines, but St. Louis hasn't used it since 2018. Treasurer Adam Lane says while the boot is officially back in service, the department is purposely limiting the initial rollout to ensure the logistics of the program are functioning correctly after 8 years on the shelf.
Right. So we rolled it out in small increments to make sure our process was right. Having not done it in almost a decade, things have changed. Personnel have changed. The way we dispatch and work with our partners over in the towing division has changed. So we want to make sure all that is ironed out.
Lane says the program is currently targeting high priority offenders who owe at least $1,500 in matured fines. Then they'll move on to cars abandoned in residential neighborhoods. People with high balances are encouraged to set up a payment plan through the office's assistance program to avoid the boot list.
Expect to pay more to park at the airport starting July 1st. The St. Louis Airport Commission has approved rate hikes for 5 lots and 2 parking garages at Lambert, along with turning Lot E near Terminal 2 into a reservation lot. Airport Director Rhonda Homnabricki says reserved parking is something travelers have been requesting for a long time and can be done on a new app. It'll be $10 a day or $10 to reserve a spot, $27 a day. Despite the price hike, an airport spokesperson says Lambert's parking fees still among the nation's least expensive.
Frustrations over trash pickup have the St. Louis County Council demanding answers.
Following a flurry of constituent complaints, council members are organizing a committee hearing to investigate the delays. Councilman Mark Harder of West County says the public's anger seems to point toward a specific contractor, and he wants to get that company into the hot seat.
My office is getting calls. It seems to be focused around Waste Connections is the supplier or the vendor. And I think we probably need to have them appear before us as well when we do decide to have that committee meeting.
The council is working to schedule that hearing with multiple members noting the problem is impacting neighborhoods across the county. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to Waste Connections to get their side of the story. We have not yet heard back.
The last hope for those gambling machines tucked into Missouri gas stations, dead. A Senate committee unanimously rejected legislation that would have legalized and regulated the so-called video gaming terminals. That was the only remaining route to keeping them in operation after a judge ruled in February the machines are illegal under state law.
Missouri's biggest slot machine supplier has already started unplugging its terminals. The state's casino industry cheered the vote, expecting players to come back to traditional casinos. Lobbyists for video gaming companies say they'll try again next year.
From the business desk, a neighborhood eyesore now up for sale. The former St. Alexis Hospital on South Jefferson and Dutchtown has had various owners over the past few years, but now sitting vacant, leading to complaints of squatters, vagrants, and other problems. According to the Business Journal, about half the 9-acre property will be sold in a city land tax sale next week. 2 developers have expressed interest in redeveloping the site, according to a member of the property's ownership group. Both would be health related.
It is 6:08, and all things traffic and weather related you can hear right here on Total Information AM. We'll get you a check next. It's 6:08.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renters also hire experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It is 6:10. Let's check the roadways with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's a minor crash reported, Brian, northbound 55 north of Z. Thankfully, it's north of Z. It's not in the work zone, but it's not blocking. It's on the shoulder. So, again, I'm looking, I don't see any delays coming through there. Northbound 55, you look like you're in good shape. Now, you are starting to slow down a bit as you approach 141 from about the Church Street overpass up to the Merrimack River. You've got heavy traffic there. If you're traveling eastbound 70 at the Blanchette Bridge, they cleared that stalled auto we had, so there's no longer an issue there. We still have these delays both directions, but it doesn't look as bad now as it did 10 minutes ago, but there's still heavy stretches on Route 3 from Judith all the way up through Monsanto by the end, a little bit at 8th Street, but Judith to Monsanto, the primary delay is not a solid jam, but it's pretty busy running through there right now, so just be advised. If you're traveling on westbound 44, just watch out for road work that's going on the right lane at 100 Washington, but that's opposite direction of rush hour flow, so I'm not expecting much in the way of issues there. And right now it looks good for you there, and it looks good in the rest of the work zones around the metro area so far. Next update at 6:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
A nice day today weather-wise. After a chilly start, sunshine and some clouds. It'll become breezy and a bit warmer for the afternoon, high 69. Mainly clear tonight, though 52. Some sun will give way to increasing clouds tomorrow. The breeze will pick up, and there'll be a shower or two in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm, high 72. Back to some sunshine and warmer weather for Saturday, the high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Partly cloudy right now and 42 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
I'll tell you what the Cardinals did yesterday, trying to sweep the Brewers. That's coming up in sports.
The news continues at 6:12. A former St. Louis area high school basketball coach receives 90 months in prison for sending sexually explicit photos to students. 29-year-old Anthony Bogan used social media to send explicit photos to high school students in the spring of 2024. Some of the minors he contacted took screenshots and reported him. Bogan sentenced yesterday after pleading guilty in February to attempting to receive child pornography.
We're getting a clearer picture of why the city's sirens triggered 90 minutes late on Monday.
Fire Chief Dennis Jankerson says that while his team believed they had successfully canceled the monthly drill, the software's internal clock managed to override the manual cancellation, and that, he says, was news to the coder of the software.
Because we stopped it at this point, all we did was delay it because it was queued up. Then the computer came back around, grabbed it, and continued to queue. So that software designer is working on that problem.
That developer is writing a patch for the error. Jankerson, testifying before Alderman, also says the fire department faces a shortage of 65 firefighters. The recruitment challenges, he says, are because of the city's marijuana testing policies. Applicants keep failing the tests. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Kirkwood's Landmarks Commission imposed its maximum 270-day review on the demolition of an 1858 designated landmark home, but it could not block the project. Neighbors sued. A petition gathered more than 2,000 signatures, but the home has come down anyway.
Councilwoman Deb Lavender, sworn in last month, says that gap between Delay and denial is what she wants to close.
Being a brand new council member, I don't fully understand all of our zoning and codes to fully understand that, but hope to work with people that we can come to agreement on how the city may be able to say no in the future to tearing down historic homes.
A neighbor's lawsuit arguing the city did have authority to deny the demolition was dismissed by a judge in April.
One day when Rick Shaper was making pizzas in his Dogtown kitchen for a party, a friend who couldn't make it asked Rick to pop one in the freezer for him, and a business was born, Dogtown Pizza.
This year we will produce, make, and sell 2 million pizzas.
Dogtown Pizza has moved to a production facility on the north side. Shaper's sons all working for the company now.
Frozen pizza sales have never gone down over the last 40 years. They just keep going up. People love pizza in any fashion. And here in St. Louis, you look, the whole aisle is filled with doors full of pizzas.
He says their goal to grow regionally to the surrounding states.
Visitors and new businesses on the rise at City Foundry. The development says it had 2.3 million visitors last year, an almost 7% increase from 2024. City Foundry also adding 6 new businesses this year, including a piercing studio, a Yemeni coffee shop, and a 3-story sports bar.
Our Redbird Report is sponsored by Restoration One of Greater St. Louis. Andre Palante on the mound yesterday as the Cards look to sweep the 2-game series from the Brewers following that rainout on Tuesday night. After Palante retired the first 2 batters to start the game, the next 2 reached ahead of Jake Bowers. He singled in the first run of the game, and there were 2 on base for Andrew Vaughn.
3-2 pitch is hit hard to left field, and he hammered that ball, and that is into the bullpen. The Brewers bullpen in left field. On a 3-2 pitch, Andrew Vaughn hits a 3-run homer, and just like that, it's 4-0 Milwaukee.
A first-inning double by Ivan Herrera, the only Cards hit for the first 7 innings in the game. The Brewers added a run in the 5th. They led 5-0. Palante settles in. He pitches 6 complete. Victor Scott II leads off the 8th inning with a line drive single. He steals second base, and there are 2 outs with Burleson at the plate.
Pitch is hit on the ground, right side, base hit for Burleson. Grounding third, heading home is Victor Scott. He's going to score, and the Cardinals get on the board here in the 8th inning.
The Brewers tack on another run in the 9th. The Cardinals down 6-1. Nolan Gorman doubles to lead off the 9th, and Jose Fermin bats with 1 out.
The pitch to him is grounded to the left side. Again, an off-balance swing, and it's booted by the shortstop. An error by the shortstop, Ortiz. That's his 2nd error of the year. Scoring from third is Gorman, and the Cardinals now trail 6-2.
But that was it. Cesar Prieto was next. He grounded into a double play. That ends the game, 6-2 final, as Milwaukee gets a split in the series. The Cards are 21-15, now 3.5 games back in the National League Central. Cardinals are in San Diego tonight. They begin a series there with the Padres, 9:10 Central Time first pitch. Ameren Total Access at 8:15. The Cards continue to trail the Cubs in the National League Central because the Cubs can't lose. It feels that way anyway. Cubs down 6-4 last night to the Reds, bottom of the 9th inning at Wrigley.
And they chant for Pete. This place will go bonkers if he delivers here. Fly ball left center field. That one back towards the gap. He did it. He called strong. And we're tied at 6. Oh, brother. And indeed, they are going bonkers at Wrigley. These people are losing it.
The Cubs Marquee Network. In the 10th, the Reds issued a pair of intentional walks, including to load the bases ahead of Michael Busch.
Horner, Redmond, Suzuki, third to first of the bases. Nico, the only guy that matters. The 3-1. 5-4 ball game. Cubs win. They walk it off for the 3rd straight night. 8 in a row, 14 in a row at home. And this place has turned into an absolute madhouse.
Some kind of run for the Cubs right now. Next sports update is 6:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin, WashU Medicine medical oncologist at Siteman Cancer Center. Dr. Jin, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything that one can do to prevent esophageal cancer?
Sure, that's a topic that's near and dear close to my heart. What's interesting for me is that the esophageal cancers we see here in the West in the United States are kind of what we call distal, so they're kind of further down, and they start from the inside and grow out. They all kind of originate from a precursor state called Barrett's esophagus. It's basically caused by years of chronic reflux. So if a GI person does an endoscopy, sticks a camera down there, we can actually see these Barrett's lesions.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Your morning news and information. Total Information AM.
It's 6:21 on Total Information AM. Let's check the roadways with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, there's a little more volume out there right now, Brian, but it still doesn't look bad. If you're northbound on 55, of course, you're starting to bog down just north of Richardson Road up to the Merrimack. You're heavy again from Bayless up to River de Pere and a little slow Loughborough, Holly Hills area. After that, North 270 is a ramp on from 55. That looks great. Up through Gravois 44, up through 64 Ladue. They had a minor crash at Ladue on the shoulder, but it didn't last long, so there's still no delays either direction there. You look good coming in from out west. Southbound 61 on to eastbound 64 or eastbound 70. No issues coming across the Missouri River bridges going that way. Westbound 64 coming through 159 at Fairview Heights is still in good shape. And we still have this heavy traffic again. It fluctuates. Right now, the biggest backup is on northbound Route 3, and it's from Monsanto up to 8th Street. And that's the list of it there right now. Southbound, not as much of an issue. Next update at 6:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It should be nice. I mean, right now we're seeing sunshine downtown for sure, and that should continue. Sun and clouds today, breezy, high of 69. Tomorrow, some sun with increasing clouds. We could see a brief shower or two in the afternoon tomorrow. You might hear some thunder as well. Tomorrow, 72, and then partly sunny and 80 on Saturday. Unfortunately, we might have a few showers on Mother's Day, which is Sunday. Don't forget. Mostly sunny right now and 42 degrees downtown.
The news continues at 6:22. If you drive downtown, you've no doubt seen a Waymo car. These white self-driving cars have a 29-camera system. Right now, the car is trying to learn St. Louis streets with a driver before they go autonomous.
KMOX car expert Greg Damon is GM of Sparks Tire and Auto in St. Charles, and he's not the biggest fan of Waymo.
What the camera's looking at is the side of the road, the white line. You're looking at the yellow line in the middle, and that's how they kind of adjust everything.
But what happens when it's snowing or raining or dark?
Here in the Midwest, or we'll go St. Louis area, we have a harsh climate for cars. You know, we see 0-degree temperature in the winter, and we see over 100-degree temperature in the summer. That is really harsh on a car. It makes things work extremely hard. You know, as far as these self-driving cars and electric cars and everything else, it takes extra technology to make them operate in a climate like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that self-driving car, it doesn't know if it's 20 degrees below zero or if it's 90 degrees with 87% humidity outside. And that's going to make cameras and everything else work completely different.
Damon says if you're computer savvy with cars, you can find a job quickly. He says he's been looking for a good technician for 2 years. and has found that 75% of applicants don't even show up for a scheduled interview. About 70,000 openings for auto service technicians and mechanics are projected on average each year through 2034, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
Greg Damon's weekly guest on the Chris and Amy Show.
A bill moving through the Missouri State House is a cross-reporting bill aimed at enhancing the detection of abuse against both animals and vulnerable humans, meaning children and the elderly. It has passed the House unanimously, but is facing some opposition.
Bill 2292 mandates that animal control officers, animal humane investigators, and certain human service professionals report suspected abuse of a child, elder, or animal to a hotline, such as one established by the Missouri Animal Control Association. KMOX talked with Bob Baker, Executive Director of Missouri Alliance for Animal Legislation, and he says law enforcement, prosecutors, AARP, and Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services all support this legislation.
Well, believe it or not, State Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, who represents Jefferson County, is vehemently opposing it. And ironically, she at one time was chair of the Children's Committee in the Senate. And so it doesn't make sense. Basically, her position is if it helps one animal, I'm not going to support it. And interestingly, the sheriff of Jefferson County, which is her district, we have a letter from the sheriff that we submitted to the legislature that's very, very much supportive of it. So, no, it doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever.
She doesn't want to go ahead with this bill because it has animals in it?
That's the best that we can understand. I met with her several times. Every argument she puts up against it is false. And when I tell her that, I think, well, this will get her, and it doesn't move her at all. She just continues to make false accusations. And at the hearing before the Senate Rules Committee, some of these people came out and just told lie after lie. The one group, the Missouri Federation of Animal Owners, said that they've had this law in Massachusetts and it's backfired. It drove abusers undercover. And in fact, and I did some checking, Massachusetts has no such law. So the problem is they don't even care about the truth. They're just worked up. They don't like it. And because it's going to help animals. And in fact, the biggest opponent of the bill is the Missouri Dog Breeders Association. We've been doing a lot of training. That's how they know about it. We have an annual conference for several years, and we bring social workers, child abuse investigators, elderly abuse, domestic abuse investigators, all in the conference. And we just really harp this thing about, taking all these crimes seriously. And the other thing is it helps success like this case. It helps give credibility to cases. Obviously, if you go in a situation where a child is being neglected and you see the dog being neglected, it really supports your case, and it really expedites these cases being handled in a timely manner. And I could give you so many other examples. And I've seen this myself in my own personal work, and and it's really amazing because as stressful as it is being on your daily job is investigating animal abuse, but I was never prepared emotionally for the trauma and abuse of children that I came across in my career as an animal cruelty investigator. It was really disturbing.
Baker encourages people to contact your state and local representatives to tell them you support Bill 2292. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman. She has not yet returned our call.
It is 6:27. That time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
It's Tom Ackerman. I've known Jim Brennan, the president of McKelvey Homes, for years. McKelvey Homes gives back to the St. Louis community. For every home they sell, $1,898 back to the community. 1898 is the year they were founded. McKelvey Homes is known for quality and for taking care of you every step of the way. For Jim, quality means experience and choice. McKelvey works with you to build a home you'll love. The early bird gets the worm, and at Post Farms in O'Fallon, you can be it. They thought of everything in this community: 2 pickleball courts, scenic lakes, open green space, a playground, Wentzville schools, quick access to 364, 64, and 70. Pick your lot before the rush and save up to $45,000. That's Post Farms in O'Fallon. Ask the McKelvey team for a tour and about the spring event. Visit McKelveyHomes.com to learn more. That's McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the Mirror Fast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. Mirror Fast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new Mirafast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
It is now 6:30, and we have sunshine in downtown St. Louis. A few clouds, 42 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
And I'm Brian Feldman. Let's check the roadways with Roger Brain and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, it's getting a little busier, obviously, as we get further into the rush hour. If you're on northbound 55, you've got slow traffic north of Richardson up to the Merrimack River. Stop-and-go pockets from the Union Road overpass running all the way up to about Virginia. North 270 doesn't look bad. 55 up through Tesson Ferry, Gravois up at the north end there through 64 Ladue in the construction area. Fine. I do see a bit of a jam northbound on Tesson Ferry from Wells up to about Butler Hill. It looks like it's opening up just a little bit before that, so we could have had an incident there. Out to the west, a little more volume once again. Southbound 61, some slow spots from Highway P down onto 64 through Prospect. Before you get to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, you're back on track, and then you're good to go all the way in through the Richmond Heights area. 70 looks great coming out of Wentzville across the Blanchette Bridge. Still okay on the Illinois side, westbound 64 through 159. And right now, Route 3, not as bad. There's still some busy traffic northbound approaching Monsanto up to 8th Street. Southbound's just a little slow down around Queenie, it looks like. Next update at 6:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Weather-wise, it's turning out to be a nice morning. Some sun and clouds, breezy, 69 degrees today, up to 72 tomorrow, although we could see a brief shower or two in the afternoon tomorrow, maybe even some thunder. 80 by Saturday. Right now, it's 42 degrees in downtown St. Louis.
It's 6:32. A lawsuit challenging Missouri's takeover of the St. Louis Police Department went to trial this week in Jefferson City. A criminologist testified overall violent crime dropped under local control, though the state pointed to a rise in homicides during that same period. Co-plaintiff Jamala Rogers tells Fox 2 the fight about more than crime numbers.
It violated the vote of the majority of people in the state of Missouri, so that's the primary thing.
The trial continues this morning at 9 at the Cole County Courthouse in Jefferson City.
If you have a single unpaid parking ticket, you likely aren't the primary target for the city's boot program that has returned. Treasurer Adam Lane says his office is currently hunting for over-offenders.
We're looking at cars that have, and I give that number to give context, we're looking at cars right now that have 1,500 or more in boot-eligible tickets or a boot ticket balance first. But this mobilization has helped to gain some of that lost revenue back since we haven't been booting in 8 years.
By the way, that would be $1,500 in fines and not 1,500 tickets. It's been 8 years since the city booted cars. Lane notes anyone with a high balance can avoid the boot by enrolling in a payment plan. Beyond parking enforcement, the treasurer told an aldermanic committee that his office plans to launch a comprehensive study to identify exactly how much public parking is available across downtown.
St. Louis County set to investigate trash complaints that are piling up like uncollected garbage. While council members briefly debated exactly which department had the proper jurisdiction to handle the inquiry, Councilman Dennis Hancock stressed that bureaucratic details should not slow down the response.
As long as we can do it sometime in the next few weeks, this is becoming a serious issue all over the county.
It is important to note Hancock is running for county executive.
The council ultimately directed the trash matter to the Justice, Health, and Welfare Committee. Council members plan to bring representatives from Waste Connections before the panel to explain the service disruptions. KMOX has reached out to Waste Connections, and we'll let you know when we hear back.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. We will have your money report next. It's 6:34.
Every day starts the same way, and then it goes wherever it wants.
Life doesn't stop for Cardinals baseball. It just kind of runs alongside it. Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. We're talking real life, real stuff, and yes, a lot of Cardinals along the way, because that's how fans actually live it. It's just like happy hour, man. We get together every day from 1 to 5. We have fun, we laugh, we commiserate, we complain. DGS 1 to 5.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th, when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Paging all nurses and healthcare heroes, this night is for you. Join the Cardinals for Nurses Appreciation on Wednesday, May 20th and Thursday, May 21st at Busch Stadium. With a special theme ticket, you'll receive a healthcare-inspired Cardinal sweatshirt plus a coupon for a complimentary drink. It's our way of saying thank you for all that you do in our community. Don't miss the special theme at the ballpark. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
It is now going on 6:36, so we're about 4 minutes away from checking the roadways for you and getting you updated on the forecast, which should be pretty nice for the weekend. A little bit of rain here and there. But first, let's get you your money report, which is sponsored by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, elder law attorneys.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The flat housing market is weighing on Zillow. The online real estate marketplace gave a financial forecast that missed Wall Street expectations. Zillow says the 2026 housing market is off to a slower start than folks anticipated, and they're not planning for it to get any better this year. Mortgage rates have climbed from a recent low at the end of February, which could weigh on home buying activity in the coming months. Checking on your money, stocks are building on yesterday's solid day of gains. Traders are waiting for updates on a potential U.S.-Iran peace deal that could reopen oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. S&P futures are up 9 points, Dow futures gaining 35. And Anthropic is trying to make its Claude chatbot more appealing to everyday folks. The company's original focus was to build artificial intelligence software geared toward businesses. But Anthropic has tasked employees in the past year with improving how its chatbot handles personal questions on health, travel, and recipes. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. With summer approaching and the kids home full time, guess what's going to see a lot more use? Your garage door. Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. Up and down it goes, whether cars are coming and going or kids want to get their bikes out of the garage or toys out of the garage. Your garage door is going to get a lot of use. Do it a favor with an annual maintenance program from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. It's a 26-point tune-up. That's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years, since 1926, Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. That's how you know you have the right one, the red ribbon on those vehicles. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Experience an evening of love, beauty, and lush soundscapes as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performs Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe. 3 extraordinary pieces come to life, from Ravel's masterpiece to the world premiere of Nathalie Joachim's Family to Kevin Putz's evocative Virelai. Nearly 300 musicians, May 8th through 10th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
640, let's check the roadways with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, I still see a jam in South County right now, Brian. This traffic report's a service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. It's northbound Tesson Ferry. I'm not sure if it's road work or what it is, or maybe signals, but northbound Tesson Ferry now is jammed from Suisun Hills pretty much all the way up to Butler Hills, so just be advised. Really tough going there. 30 is an alternate nearby. It's just slow, Mauer to 270. Of course, northbound 55 is slow. North of Richardson up to the Merrimack. The right lane's Butler Hill up to 270. It's slow at the Union Road overpass, jam from about Bayless up through Holly Hills, and then it starts picking up the pace after that. North 270, slow up the hill from Doherty Ferry to Manchester. If you're on southbound 61, runs from Parkway onto 64. It opens up by the time you get to the Boulevard. Westbound 64 past McKnight looks a little busy. Eastbound 70 east of Highway A, there's a little slowdown there. We still look okay on the Illinois side. Westbound 64 coming through. 159 is fine. Still looks okay across the Poplar. And Route 3, not as big of a deal, but there's still some busy spots north of Quincy through Monsanto and around 8th Street on your way into work via that route. Next update at 6:50 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
It is 6:41. Let's check in with our AccuWeather meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. It looks like a lovely morning out the windows of Studio B, Joe.
Yep, a few wispy high clouds, Debbie, but other than that, we're going to see a decent amount of sunshine today. Kind of breezy, but a little warmer as we go through the day. The high gets to about 69, almost 70. The night should be clear much of the time, the low 52. We'll start with some sun tomorrow, but then clouds increase ahead of a weak little boundary that could produce a shower or two and maybe even a thunderstorm in the afternoon. The high gets to 72. Behind that feature, more sunshine for Saturday. A nice start to the weekend with a high of 80. Not going to be as nice to end the weekend as a stronger front comes through the area in the morning. There'll be some showers with it. Should dry out in the afternoon, and maybe we'll end with some sun, but our high on Sunday only 67. Back to mostly sunny skies Monday with a high of 74, which is about normal for this time of the year. 42 right now at St. Peter's. It's 44 in Florissant. 46 with sunshine downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm Joe Pott. Do you know who's third in the National League in on-base percentage? I will tell you, coming up in sports.
The news continues at 6:42. The Republican candidate for Illinois governor says he will not ban or restrict abortion if he's elected, in a declaration aimed at winning more support from independent voters. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz reports.
Darren Bailey repeatedly voted against measures designed to increase access to abortion when he was a state senator. And back in 2017, he posted a video in which he made a reference to the Holocaust.
It doesn't even compare on a shadow of the life that has been lost and with abortion since its legalization.
Incumbent Democrat J.B. Pritzker has been sharing that video and others in an attempt to show that Bailey is out of touch. But this week, Bailey responded on social media. Here's a quote. Let's settle this right now. I am not banning abortion, and I am not restricting it.
This is a play by Bailey to reach people who were not in his corner before.
Political analyst Paul Lisnick says Bailey's hoping his shift on abortion will bring attention and maybe votes from independents in Cook and DuPage County. As for Bailey's traditional anti-abortion base,
Even though they backed him in the last election, it's not enough.
and Lisnick says even though Illinois is pretty red outside of the Chicago area, Cook County can sway the election. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
The Illinois Department of Agriculture is starting a free ag chemical recycling program beginning in July and ending in August. Illinois agrochemical facilities can recycle chemical containers to be recycled and made into shipping pallets. The containers are collected at 3 sites in Pike, Lawrence, and White counties. Facilities can also call the LLC G. Phillips & Sons to have them picked up.
Things might get more expensive for e-bike or motorized scooter drivers in Illinois.
Due to a rise in accidents involving motorized vehicles like scooters and e-bikes, Illinois lawmakers are now considering new regulations. Backed by Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias, a bill in the State House would require drivers to be at least 16 years old, have their license, and have the vehicle registered with the DMV. Giannoulias says the vehicle's registration fees would be the same as those for motorcycles, according to Advantage News. The current cost of a new title and registration for motorcycles is $206. Drivers would also be subject to existing DUI laws and would only be allowed on roads or highways with speed limits under 35 miles per hour. The bill is currently waiting on a vote in the House after passing out of the Senate last month. Jade Aubrey, KMOX News.
Who's Hot, Who's Not is sponsored by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories. Well, all Ivan Herrera does is get on base.
One strike pitch is grounded towards third, and it's booted by the third baseman, Hamilton. He was backpedaling on that the whole way. Herrera's trying for second. It's going to be a close play, and he's in there, sliding in safely. And the Cardinals have a runner at second base. We'll see how that scored. It was on the backhand. It took a funny hop, and they are going to give Herrera a double.
Indeed, they did, Rick Horton. That is a first-inning double yesterday against the Brewers. That extended Ivan Herrera's on-base streak to a career-best 22 games. That's the third longest active streak in the majors. The double also is his sixth in the last 9 games. Herrera's on-base percentage now, it's .406. That is third best in the National League. Ivan Herrera certainly is some kind of hot. You know who else is? That's the Chicago Cubs. As hot as they are, 8 wins in a row, the Reds are no doubt ready to be out of Wrigley because those 3 wins, the 3 most recent Cubs wins, have all come at the hands of the Cincinnati Reds. They've all come by the way of walk-off. The 2 teams have won more in that 4-game series this afternoon at 120. The Reds now have dropped 6 in a row overall, and at 20-17, they now sit last in the National League Central Division, and it's the offense that has seriously gone cold. Cincinnati is 26th of 30 teams in OPS at 689 and dead last in batting average at 219. Well, the pair of St. Louis Battlehawks have been honored by the United Football League, that is. Defensive end Travis Feeney was named the Defensive Player of the Week. He recorded 4 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack, and a pass breakup in the Battlehawks' 16-3 victory over Louisville. Punter Ryan Sanborn tabbed as the Special Teams Player of the Week. He totaled 6 punts for 234 yards with a long of 53, and he added 2 special teams tackles. Speaking of the Battlehawks, they are set to honor the greatest show on turf era St. Louis Rams. That'll happen Friday night when they host the Columbus Aviators at the Dome. Head coach Ricky Prohl, of course, a member of that Super Bowl winning team, and his son Austin Prohl, he was just a kid. He remembers coming to work with his dad and cleaning helmets ahead of the games.
That's just really what I remember from growing up is being around all those great players, from Marshall to Kurt to Oz to Torrey to Isaac, no matter who it was, just being around them, being in the locker room with them, and then, sharing memories, that I'll never forget.
That is Austin Prohl. He is now the wide receivers coach for the Battlehawks, and he joined the Chris and Amy show this week. Coaches Dick Vermeil and Mike Martz, along with Marshall Falk, Mike Jones, Adam Timmerman, Tom Newton, Andy McCullum, and Jeff Scanina all will be recognized at the game. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock Friday at the Dome. Next sports update comes up at 7:15. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman, St. Louis Composting, growing gardens, making memories, making people very happy around the St. Louis area with their 9 locations where you can pull up your truck or trailer and fill it up with mulch or soil or compost for your garden, your yard, your flower beds. Now, if you're like me and you just want it delivered to your home, you can do that too. STLcompost.com makes it very easy. STLcompost.com. They have a cubic yards calculator where you can determine how much mulch, soil, or compost you need. In our case, we went with the color enhanced dark walnut mulch. It looks great around the yard, and they will take care of business for you. They will deliver it to your home or job site. It is St. Louis Composting, STLcompost.com. St. Louis Composting for soil, for mulch, for compost. Growing gardens, making memories. Very easy. 9 locations, STLcompost.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah. And now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news. Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
Now the news at 9, The Talk. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 6:50. Thanks for tuning in to Total Information AM. We've got birthdays on the way. Stick around for that. Let's get you a check of the roadways, starting here with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got a little trouble on Highway 64, Debbie. This traffic reports the service of I-3 broadband. I mentioned a little delay earlier. Westbound 64 at McKnight. Turns out that's looks like a crash in the left lane. Westbound 64 just west of McKnight. So there's a jam back to about 170. It's not too extensive yet. And the good news is nobody eastbound is slowing for a look. Now, if you're on eastbound 64, just some volume out west, which begins on southbound 61, Wentzville Parkway to Abbott Lake St. Louis Boulevard, but then you're back on track. Northbound 270. Big Bend up to Manchester, and then 64 to Lou, a little slow. Northbound 55 north of Richardson up to the Merrimack's, bogged down. It's backed up from the Union Road overpass up to Bayless, and after that, still slow stuff all the way up past Virginia. Northbound Tesson Ferry, we still have this jam from Suisun Hills most of the way up to Butler Hill, so just be prepared if you're headed through there. Illinois side, westbound 64 still looks good through 159. You're still okay at the Poplar. Route 3 still kind of busy in spots, primarily Monsanto through 8th Street, but southbound's a little jammed as you get around Queenie. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, we're springing forward with our longest price guarantees ever on our Geek Speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right. Next update at 6:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is going to be very nice today. Sun, a little cloudy, but breezy and warmer this afternoon. High of 69. Clear tonight, low of 52. Tomorrow, some sun, increasing clouds and breezy. There could be a shower or two in the afternoon, a high of 72. And then we hit 80 on Saturday. Sunday, high of 67, but there could be some showers in the morning, breezy and cooler in the afternoon with clouds breaking for some sun. Right now, we have partly cloudy skies, and it is 43 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 6:52. The number of people living with clinical Alzheimer's disease in America continues to rise. We get more from KMOX health editor Fred Bottomer.
The Alzheimer's Association's Daniel Hill tells KMOX 122,000 Missourians aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's.
That's in Missouri alone. When you want to talk nationally, we're talking about 7.4 million people. So I've been a volunteer for 10 years, and for many, many years, we talked about a 6 million number, which was terrible to think that this many Americans are affected with a disease. And if you've got a loved one or you have seen it, experienced yourself, as most people have now due to the prevalence, that number's striking. And then now here we are 10 years later, and it's 7.4. We haven't gotten any better, right? There's still not a cure, and that's what we're actively working towards.
Hill says local researchers are hard at work trying to find a possible cure, and he'd be thrilled, he says, if the first person who goes home cured of Alzheimer's would come from the St. Louis area. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
A new report says Missouri's tech workforce expected to grow modestly this year.
CompTIA, an IT trending company, says its State of the Tech Workforce 2026 shows tech employment in Missouri is forecast to rise 1.2% this year, adding more than 1,900 jobs. Nationwide, employers are increasingly seeking AI-related skills across multiple industries, including technology, finance, manufacturing, administrative services, healthcare, and social services. The report also shows more than 44,000 tech-related job postings by Missouri employers in 2025, and just over 17,000 of those postings required AI skills. Marshall Griffin, Missouri Net.
The East St. Louis School District 189 is one of 3 schools nationwide to receive an award for its green energy initiatives. Some of the initiatives include the addition of 25 electric school buses and the use of LED lighting to reduce energy consumption. The other winning school districts were in Washington State and Maryland.
St. Louis runners will get 4 extra opportunities to lace up their racing shoes this summer. Go St. Louis kicking off a Summer Sizzle series in June. The series features 4 races every other Thursday evening starting June 25th. Go President Mona Vespa says these races a little different than usual competitions.
Run a race and then hang out with your friends, maybe have a beer if you're interested in that, have some refreshments, and just kind of enjoy that nighttime lower key atmosphere for racing.
Each race will be at a different location and feature a different distance, which Vespa says will add to the casual environment.
I heard it's somebody's birthday.
Birthday excitement.
It's your birthday.
Celebrity birthdays on this May 7th include Mr. Beast. The YouTube star is 27 years old today. Boxer Tommy Fury is 26. TV actor Elijah Nelson is 26 years old. Reggae singer J Balvin is 40. And happy birthday, children's author Michael Rosen is 79.
The birthday shout out is sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back. Happy birthday to Gail Mann from the Life Group. Beth Ewing celebrating today. So is Peggy Verdon, Jorge Rio Pedre, Scott Sifton, and Dallas Adams.
This is the best birthday ever. I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler with the Audiology Center, and I'm talking with my associate, Dr. Adam Voss. What happens to a person's brain when they ignore their hearing loss?
There is such a strong connection between the ear and the brain. Ignoring your hearing loss can cause the brain to become lazy and the speech areas in the brain to shrink. This is partially why you can hear the words, but you cannot understand them. If a hearing loss goes untreated for too long, it may cause an irreversible change in the brain. It is incredibly important to have your hearing screened at 60 or older, or sooner if you're noticing difficulty. And the sooner someone treats their hearing loss, the better and quicker their brain will adapt to hearing sound again. Studies show that those who get hearing aids, even with a mild hearing loss, are much more successful hearing aid users as compared to those that wait longer.
So call us today to get your comprehensive hearing evaluation with one of our doctors. 636-441-7470, or visit us online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Summer's here. Is your backyard ready? If you missed the spring rush, Artistic Decks can still make it happen. From premium wood to maintenance-free composite, get the quality you deserve. Don't wait. Call Artistic Decks today at 314-280-0821.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold bill and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
6:58. Let's check in on the roadways with Roger Brain and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Brian, if you're headed west on 64, we still have this crash west of McKnight that, with last check, was blocking the left lane. I'm looking back to the east and looking at westbound traffic coming through the area, and the jam is slowly getting longer, but I'd really call it more of a slowdown now, so it looks like they may have cleared it. I just can't see it for sure, but let's call it slow from west of Big Bend out through McKnight, but it is not a jam now, so I think we're doing better there. Northbound 270, Clayton Road overpass up to Ladou's busy. Northbound 55, north of Richardson up to the Merrimack's bogged down, and again from Bayless up through Holly Hills, you've got heavy traffic. Southbound 61 north of Wentzville Parkway into 64 through Prospect is slow. Next update at 7:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is now 6:59. It's Thursday, the 7th of May. I'm Debbie Monterrey.
A first for the St. Louis Police Department in their effort to recruit new officers. I'm Maria Aquina. I'll explain.
Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman.
This is KMOX Health Editor Fred Bottomer. A closer look at the toll of Alzheimer's disease on Americans is coming up.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine and some clouds today, breezy and a bit warmer this afternoon. The high today 69.
I'm Joe Pott. Cards in San Diego tonight as they start a series on the West Coast. More on that coming up in sports.
Tornadoes ripping through Mississippi causing some damage. We'll have the very latest for you from CBS News. At the tone, it's 7 o'clock.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There's widespread damage across Mississippi this morning after violent weather blew through. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano.
Violent twisters ripped through southern Mississippi overnight, crushing mobile homes and reducing them into nothing but scraps of metal and wood in a trailer park about an hour south of Jackson. Emergency officials say people were trapped by debris. The powerful system taking down utility lines, leaving thousands in the southern part of the state in the dark.
The operator of the cruise ship hit with an outbreak of hantavirus says none of the 140 people on board, including 17 Americans, is infected. The ship is still making its way to Spain's Canary Islands. Rui Sennett was among 40 who disembarked on a remote island in the South Atlantic after the first of 3 passengers died. He says they were misled.
The captain announced that there was a death, and he said it was due to natural causes, and we are not infectious. This was relaxing at the time, but it was also misguiding us.
Secretary of State Rubio is meeting with Pope Leo at the Vatican right now, a day after President Trump criticized the pontiff again over his opposition to the war with Iran. Tehran is reviewing a new proposal from the U.S. to end the conflict. Correspondent Weijia Jiang from the White House.
An Iranian official said the proposal is being reviewed. Trump insisted Iran has already signed off on his key condition.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. And they've agreed to that.
Iran has not said that publicly.
The Justice Department accuses UCLA's medical school of illegally using race in its admissions.
The DOJ's Civil Rights Division claims UCLA's David Geffen School of Medicine has admitted Black and Latino applicants who had lower test scores and grade point averages than white and Asian American applicants. A UCLA spokesman says the school does follow the law and its admissions are based on merit. Last summer, the Justice Department suspended $500 million in research grants to UCLA for allegedly using race in its admissions, but a judge restored the grants. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The burger business is booming.
Next time someone asks you if you want your burger with crispy onions or slivered ones, if you prefer 2 juicy quarter-pound patties or 3 slices of cheese, just say yes.
McDonald's has topped sales estimates in the first quarter thanks to its new Big Arch Burger, which went viral after the CEO took that teensy-beensy little bite.
Holy cow. God, that is a big burger.
Revenue at Mickey D's rose 9%. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible?
Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 Minutes.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At 7:04, we have mostly sunny skies and 43 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Thursday, May the 7th. Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman.
And I'm Debbie Monterrey. Today is Give STL Day, the 12th annual event centered around donating to local nonprofits. And it runs through 10 a.m. tomorrow. Currently, the online donation page shows a little over $700,000 donated since the site went live at midnight. You can get more or donate at givestlday.org.
A lawsuit challenging state control of the St. Louis Police Department wrapped up testimony this week in Jefferson City. The state argued on cross-examination that homicides rose under local control, pushing back against the plaintiff's criminologist. Co-plaintiff Jamala Rogers tells Fox 2 the financial stakes extend far beyond policing.
The way that the budget is coming down is going to completely obliterate the city budget, including social services and other services that are vital for the city.
Attorneys for the state declined comment. The case resumes this morning at 9 a.m.
A former St. Louis area high school basketball coach gets 90 months in prison for sending sexually explicit photos to students. 29-year-old Anthony Bogan used social media to send those explicit photos to high school students in the spring of 2024. Some that he contacted took screenshots of the photos and then reported him. Bogan was sentenced yesterday after pleading guilty in February to attempting to receive child pornography.
Clamping a boot on a car, one of the city's most effective tools to collect unpaid parking fines. But St. Louis has not used it since 2018. Treasurer Adam Lane says while the boot officially back in service, the department purposely limiting the initial rollout to ensure the logistics of the program are functioning correctly after 8 years on the shelf.
Right. So we rolled it out in small increments to make sure our process was right. Having not done it in almost a decade, things have changed. Personnel have changed. The way we dispatch and work with our partners over in the towing division has changed. So we want to make sure all that is ironed out.
Lane also says the program currently targeting high priority offenders who owe at least $1,500 in matured fines. Then they'll move on to cars abandoned in residential neighborhoods. People with high balances encouraged to set up a payment plan through the office's assistance program to avoid the boot list.
St. Louis County leaders are looking into a wave of frustration over uncollected garbage.
Councilman Dennis Hancock of the Fenton area brought up the issue at this week's council meeting and called for a formal committee hearing to investigate the delays. He says he's noticed a sudden spike in calls from constituents.
We've received in my office for the last 2 weeks at least 20 complaints about trash pickup and the sporadic service that our residents are getting.
Other council members from other parts of the county say they're hearing the same thing. Hancock, we must note, is running for county executive. The council is expected to schedule a hearing with the Justice, Health, and Welfare Committee in the coming weeks to address the trash collection issue. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to Waste Connections. We'll let you know when we hear back.
The slot machines in Missouri gas stations have officially run out of road. A state Senate committee unanimously rejected a bill that would have legalized, taxed, and regulated the so-called video gaming terminals that have proliferated across the state for the past decade. The machines already illegal under state law after a federal judge's ruling.
Senate President Cindy O'Loughlin says if Missourians want to expand gambling, they should do it through a ballot measure. The vote ends any path forward this session for a proposal that could have brought the state more than $300 million a year.
From the business desk, expect to pay more to park at the airport starting July 1st. The St. Louis Airport Commission has approved rate hikes for 5 lots and 2 parking garages at Lambert, along with turning Lot E near Terminal 2 into a reservation lot. Airport Director Rhonda Homnabricki says reserved parking, something travelers have been requesting for a long time, and can be done on a new app. It'll be $10 to reserve a spot, $27 a day. Despite the price hike, an airport spokesperson says Lambert's parking fees still among the nation's least expensive.
One eyesore is up for sale, but a home that people tried to protect has been demolished. Those stories and more coming up after we check traffic and weather. It's 7:08.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-292-4382. That's 800-292-4382. 800-292-4382.
This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts.
It's 7:10. Let's get a check on the roadways with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Brian, we still have slow traffic on westbound 64 from just west of Big Bend through McKnight. That crash was still out there, partially blocking the left lane, just partially in the left lane, but now they completely cleared it. So that's why it was slowly improving as time went by. So still delays, but it'll get better, I'm sure. Northbound 270, Manchester up to Ladue, you've got heavy traffic. Southbound 61, just a little slow crossing over onto 64. It's busy all the way up to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. But like I said, there was never a slowdown eastbound coming through that McKnight incident, so you still look fine once you get out of St. Charles County there. Northbound 55 approaching 141 to the Merrimack, slow. The right lane's busy Butler Hill to 270. All lanes from Bayless up through Holly Hills are kind of busy. Eastbound 70 looks great, coming in from out Wentzville way all the way downtown. Downtown, we're good to go. Just a little slowdown. Westbound 64 past 159. Other than that, it's clear. Next update at 7:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
KMOX AccuWeather, sunshine and some clouds today. Rather breezy and a little warmer for the afternoon, high 69. Mainly clear tonight, though 52. Tomorrow, some sun followed by increasing clouds, becoming breezy with a shower or two in the afternoon and perhaps a thunderstorm, high 72. Saturday, partly sunny and warmer, high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is sunny in downtown St. Louis and 43 degrees.
Cards finished off a homestand yesterday. I'll give you those details coming up in sports.
The news continues at 7:12. The fire chief discovers a coding mistake is to blame for the city's recent false alarm tornado siren.
Chief Dennis Dickerson says that while trying to pause this Monday's monthly drill because of rain moving through, his team inadvertently triggered a flaw that the siren system's creator had never seen before.
When we talked to the programmer yesterday, who was the main programmer on this software,
and we walked through, and he was able to get at every keystroke we made in the computer system, and we made him right. He didn't know what we had done. We had found a loophole in his program.
Jackerson says the software designer is now working to patch that loophole to ensure that a manual cancellation fully clears the queue in the future. The chief, speaking with Alderman, also highlighted a major financial win for his department, reporting a $7 million increase in federal EMS reimbursement funds that'll be used to upgrade life-saving equipment and ambulances. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The downtown charter school St. Louis Voices, that was temporarily shut down for an investigation, then put on probation, is shutting down permanently at the end of this school year. Now the school's executive director is suing the school and its board. Jasmine Nolan Eccles is citing breach of contract, wrongful termination, and defamation, among other things.
We've been telling you about the fight to save an 1858 designated landmark in Kirkwood, one of the city's oldest homes. But this morning, it's gone. Demolition crews tore it down this week despite a neighbor's lawsuit, a petition with more than 2,000 signatures, and the maximum 270-day review by the city's Landmarks Commission.
For Councilwoman Deb Lavender, the loss reflects a deeper anxiety about what Kirkwood is becoming.
There's great concern about the charm of Kirkwood and maintaining our historical perspective. We're the first, oldest planned development west of the Mississippi, besides St. Louis, of course. And it is a concern for people that we're not maintaining our historic charm.
The home's previous owner wrote in the Webster Kirkwood Times that she and her late husband had spent more than $1.3 million restoring the home before selling.
A neighborhood eyesore now up for sale. The former St. Alexis Hospital on South Jefferson and Dutchtown has had various owners over the past few years, but now sitting vacant, leading to complaints of squatters, vagrants, and other problems. According to the Business Journal, about half the 9-acre property will be sold in a city land tax sale next week. 2 developers have expressed interest in redeveloping the site. That's according to a member of the property's ownership group. Both would be health-related.
Visitors and new businesses both on the rise at City Foundry. The development says it had 2.3 million visitors last year, which was almost a 7% increase from 2024. They also added 6 new businesses this year, including Yemeni Coffee Shop, a piercing studio, and a 3-story sports bar.
Andre Pallante on the mound yesterday as the Cardinals look to sweep a 2-game series from the Brewers following the rainout Tuesday night. After Pallante retired the first 2 hitters to start the game, the next 2 reached ahead of Jake Bauers. He singled in the first run of the game, and there were 2 on for Andrew Vaughn.
3-2 pitch is hit hard to left field, and he hammered that ball, and that is into the bullpen. The Brewers bullpen in left field on a 3-2 pitch. Andrew Vaughn hits a 3-run homer, and just like that, it's 4-0 Milwaukee.
Not much going all day offensively for the Cardinals. First inning double by Ivan Herrera, the only Cardinals hit for the first 7 innings. Brewers added a run in the 5th. They led 5-0. Pallante would settle in to pitch 6 complete. Victor Scott leads off the 8th inning with a line drive single. He steals second base. He's there with 2 outs, and Alec Burleson coming up.
Pitch is hit on the ground. Right side base hit for Burleson. Rounding third, heading home is Victor Scott. He's going to score, and the Cardinals get on the board here in the 8th inning.
That is your cut of the game. It's sponsored by The Diamond Shop, thediamondshop.net. The Brewers tack on another run in the 9th. The Cardinals down 6-1. Nolan Gorman doubles to lead off the inning, and Jose Fermin bats with 1 out.
The pitch to him is grounded to the left side. Again, an off-balance swing, and it's booted by the shortstop. An error by the shortstop, Ortiz. That's his 2nd error of the year. Scoring from third is Gorman, and the Cardinals now trail 6-2.
But Cesar Prieto grounded into a double play that ended it 6-2 final as Milwaukee gets a split in the series. The Cardinals are 21-15 and now 3.5 games back in the National League Central. They'll be in San Diego tonight to begin a series with the Padres, 9:10 Central Time. First pitch, Ameren Total Access at 8:15 tonight. The Cards continue to trail the Cubs in the division because the Cubs seem like they can't lose. Cubs down 6-4 last night, bottom of the 9th inning in Wrigley against the Reds.
And they chant for Pete. This place will go bonkers if he delivers here. Fly ball left center field. That one back towards the gap. weather. And indeed, they are going bonkers at Wrigley. These people are losing it.
Cubs Marquee Network there with the call. In the 10th, the Reds issued a pair of intentional walks, including to load the bases for Michael Busch.
Corner, Redmond, Suzuki, third to first to the bases. Nico, the only guy that matters. The 3-1. 5-4 ball game. Cubs win. They walk it off for the third straight night. 8 in a row, 14 in a row at home. And this place has turned into an absolute madhouse.
The Reds have to play another one there this afternoon at 1:20. Next sports update is 7:45. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
For women with postmenopausal osteoporosis at high risk for fracture, there's more you can do to strengthen your bones with Evenity. This is the sound of 4 women who think they're doing everything they can. A high fracture risk will cause 3 of them to break a bone in their lifetime. With Evenity, they could be rapidly building new bone in just 12 months. 2 think they already are building bone. And for 1, the game is about to change. To make an appointment, press 2. Because she's calling her doctor about Evenity. Evenity can increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a heart problem. Tell your doctor if you have had a heart attack or stroke. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it. As serious events have occurred with Evenity. Signs include rash, hives, swelling of the face or throat, which may cause difficulty in swallowing or breathing, muscle spasms or cramps, numbness or tingling. Tell your doctor about severe jawbone problems as they have been reported with Evenity. Report hip, groin, or thigh pain. Unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred with Evenity. Learn more about building new bone at Evenity.com.
Now the news at 1 the fun. It's the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:20 on this Thursday, May 7th. That means it is time to check the roadways with Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still have a little bit of a slowdown, Brian, on northbound 55, around the Church Road overpass, approaching it up to 141. And then again, it's bogged down about midway up from Merrimack, bottom to Butler Hill in the right lanes to 270. Stop and go pockets from Bayless up through Holly Hills. Northbound 270, approaching Tesson Ferry through Gravois, Big Bend all the way up to Ladue. Stop and go pockets. Southbound 270 right at Ladue to 64. Just a little slow there. I'm still seeing this jam. Hasn't changed. At least it hasn't gotten any worse, but hasn't gotten any better. Northbound Tesson Ferry, Suisun Hills, most of the way to Butler Hill is bumper to bumper right now. By comparison, eastbound 30, it's slow east of the Merrimack, but not a jam going over to 270. Southbound 61 approaching Wensville Parkway onto 64 at the Boulevard. That's busy. Westbound 64, Clayton, Skinker, McCausland area out to Hanley is busy. Eastbound 70, just a little slow at Earth City. That's not bad. Westbound 64, a little longer slowdown coming through 159 in Fairview Heights, and a little slow ball to the 70 split. But after that, clear across either the Poplar or Musial Veterans Bridges. Next update at 7:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Bring your home back to life with Zero Res, a fresher clean that you can actually feel. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 and whole home air duct cleaning starting at just $599. Visit ZeroResSTL.com and tell them about the DGS KMOX deal.
If you're wondering if you need a coat this morning, maybe, but it's not going to be too cold as we head through the day. 69 degrees will be our high with sun and clouds. It'll be breezy. And then tomorrow, warmer, 72, but we could see a brief shower or two, maybe some thunder, 80 by Saturday. Right now, it is mostly sunny and 44 degrees.
So there is still the psych eval and the background that has to still get done. For the most part, the bulk of it is getting done.
Getting done in one day, the physical and aptitude tests and oral interview. The St. Louis Police Department calls it Fast Track Testing Blitz, all in an effort to recruit new police officers quickly.
Police officer Darius Rutling tells KMOX the event went very well, and by late afternoon, around 100 potential future St. Louis police officers went through the process. The department has been down nearly 300 officers for some time. The hope is by expediting this process, more people will apply. Applicants know right away, though, how they did on that physical test.
Well, as far as that PAT, they're going to find out as soon as they go up there and take the obstacle course. And if they don't complete it in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, they'll know immediately. But it's not over. There's practice sessions and all that, so they can still come back and get another opportunity to do the PAT if they don't make it today. So it's not the end of the world.
It's got to be encouraging for some people, because I'm sure some people maybe can't cut that test.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, it's a shocker. Once you go up there and you get the running and you got to jump over the 4-foot wall and all those things, you're like, whoo, oh, man, okay, yeah, I got to get back in the gym. So it definitely will have you get your heart rate up for sure, for sure.
Or will they do more events like this?
I'm sure by the success of it, I can see more coming, for sure. I can see more coming, yes. If you're not down here, I mean, they should get down here. Even if you don't make it to the Blitz and you're interested, please fill out the application, go online, visit the website. If you're still interested in being a police officer, you couldn't make it today for the Blitz, we're always hiring. So please come join us.
What's the age limit now?
Oh, at least 21. So 20 and a half. As long as you're 21, by the time you graduate the academy, which lasts 30 weeks, you can apply. You just have a valid driver's license and no criminal record.
Cadets?
Yes, we do have the cadet program. That starts at the age of 18. So 18 to, I think it goes beyond 21. There's certain stipulations, but at least it's like a fast track to the academy as well. So even if you're not 21, you're interested in law enforcement, you can join our cadet program.
And what's the max age you can be?
20 and a half, because we're trying to get you into the academy. So pretty much you hit 20, you start filling out the application, and we try to fast track you straight into the academy to become a recruit. So from cadet to recruit.
Or say some
police officer. Yeah. There's no max age.
You're 45.
Come on in. Yes, come on in. We have a guy in our current academy class. He is 42, and they're in week 25.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
There is pending legislation in the Missouri State House that has support from law enforcement, prosecutors, AARP, and animal advocates. This bill will mandate cross-reporting from a group of professionals that spot child, elder, or animal abuse.
Bob Baker is executive of Missouri Alliance for Animal Legislation.
For example, if a humane investigator or an animal control officer would see a child being abused, they would have to report that. And vice versa, if a teacher or a social worker or a child abuse investigator or elderly abuse investigator saw animal abuse, they would have to report that. And the reason why is that there is overwhelming evidence that there is a direct link between cruelty to animals and cruelty to humans.
Baker says Missouri's Health and Senior Services testified in support of the bill. There is opposition from State Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, Missouri Federation of Animal Owners, and the Missouri Pet Breeders Association.
They fought vigorously to be exempt from the bill.
Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman for comment. We are waiting to hear back.
A bill aimed at protecting businesses in Missouri from a particular type of predatory lawsuit sailed through the legislature and was signed into law by Governor Kehoe. At issue are sue and settle lawsuits filed against more than 100 small businesses, alleging unspecified ADA website compliance violations and wanting a cash payment. The NFIB State Director Brad Jones says the small business community has been caught in the crosshairs of predatory trial attorneys and frivolous lawsuits. NFIB and other business groups pushed for the passage of the law. It is now 5:27, and that time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Have you had this situation where you need some help at home, or maybe you're trying to find help for a loved one and you're finding that the in-home health care crisis is real? At-home caregivers are in short supply. Families are stretched thin. Maybe you're doing Google searches for Medicaid home care near me. Well, let me tell you about a new program called Freedom Care, with more than 160,000 families served and a 97% satisfaction rate. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care lets your family choose a trusted friend or relative as the caregiver. somebody who already knows your loved one's routines, needs. These caregivers can help with meals, medication, bathing, mobility, all while getting paid, sometimes daily. And there's no long waiting list. There's no rotating strangers in and out of your house. And it's 100% free to you. Freedom Care handles the paperwork, the training, the payroll, and the support so caregivers can focus on caring. Now, if you're already caring for someone with Medicaid or you're ready to help, call Freedom Care at 314-947-5139. That's 314-947-5139. It's Freedom Care.
Deer season is here at Seidenstriger Nobe Partners. If you've been thinking about a new mower, gator, or compact tractor, May is the time to take a look. Get cash off new select John Deere equipment, plus affordable finance options to help make your purchase even easier. Bring home dependable equipment built for the season ahead. Come see us at any of our S&P dealerships or visit snpartners.com. Seidenstriger Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 6/3/2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
The smartest way to do your homework is Hackman Lumber.
Thinking about building a new deck? Start with the deck experts at Hackman Lumber, home of one of the largest inventories of decking materials and accessories in Missouri. From treated lumber and cedar to all the leading names in decking, their experts will help you choose the perfect materials for your dream deck. Then finish it off with endless railing options, balusters, and LED deck lighting to bring your backyard to life. Hackman Lumber will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials, guaranteed. Do it yourself? Their team is ready with expert advice. Need help from a pro? They can connect you with trusted local contractors. Also, check out their expanding paint department with custom color matching. And don't forget, follow Hackman Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to catch weekly deal specials and project inspiration all season long. Or visit us at hackmanstl.com. Locations in St. Peters, Troy, and Pacific, Missouri.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
At 7:30, we have mostly sunny skies, and it is 45 degrees downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Brian Feldman.
I'm Debbie Monterrey, and here's Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Debbie, northbound 55 Church Street up through the Merrimack River is a little heavy in that construction zone. The right lanes are bogged down Butler Hill most of the way to 270. It backs up again Bayless, but then briefly just not even to Weber, but it's still busy up through about Virginia. If you're on northbound Telegraph from north of Herb all the way up to Pottle, there's heavy pockets. North 270, 55 through Gravois, 44 all the way up to Ladou's busy. South 270, 364, just about midway down to Olive slow. These secondaries in South County still have this jam on northbound Tesson Ferry from Suisun Hills most of the way to Butler Hill. Eastbound 30, looks like Dolores to Gravois Bluffs, and then there's heavy pockets from West Watson to 270, so secondaries are certainly busier. Southbound 61 north of Wentzville Parkway, on to 64 at the Boulevard. After that's not bad. Kind of busy. Eastbound 70 a little slow east of the Blanchette into 270. 370 starting to slow past 94 in the work zone. And on the other side, westbound 64, 159 is heavy. After that, it's just slow across the Poplar. Next, from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be pretty nice today. Sun, some clouds, breezy, warm this afternoon. High of 69 degrees. Tonight, mainly clear. Low of 52. Right now, we have mostly sunny skies. It is 45 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Arch City Defenders rested its case Wednesday in a lawsuit challenging Missouri's takeover of the St. Louis Police Department. The state says local control caused staffing shortages, but the plaintiff's criminologist pointed to Kansas City, where violent crime rose under state oversight.
Co-plaintiff Mike Milton tells Fox 2 there's only one acceptable outcome.
The end goal is that it's completely reversed and that we can continue to have, or we can give back local control of the police department in the city of St. Louis so we can hold them accountable and also meet the needs of the people.
Court resumes this morning at 9. The judge not expected to rule immediately.
If you have a single unpaid parking ticket, you likely aren't a primary target for St. Louis City's returning boot program. City Treasurer Adam Lane says his office is currently hunting for over offenders.
We're looking at cars that have, and I give that number to give context, we're looking at cars right now that have 1,500 or more in boot eligible tickets or a boot ticket balance first. But this mobilization has helped to gain some of that lost revenue back since we haven't been booting in 8 years.
That's right. 8 years since the city booted cars. And by the way, that's $1,500 in fines, not 1,500 tickets.
Well, Lane does note anyone with a high balance can avoid the boot by enrolling in a payment plan. Beyond parking enforcement, the treasurer told an aldermanic committee his office plans to launch a comprehensive study to identify exactly how much public parking is available across downtown.
You may have an inbox full of messages from your favorite nonprofits, but if not, you should know that today is Give STL Day, a day focused on raising money for more than 1,000 area nonprofits. Millions are raised each year. At givestlday.org, people can find a specific nonprofit, search under specific causes, or find a passion to fund. Donation levels start at $10. Give STL Day is powered by the St. Louis Community Foundation.
The news sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Your money report's next. It's 7:34.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show. It's not the same old talk. It's fresh, it's different, and it's local. Chris and Amy dig into the news that matters, but they also keep it light, keep it fun, and keep you smiling. Serious when it needs to be, silly when it can be. That's pure entertainment with a local heartbeat. The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays at 9 on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Filters and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
It is 7:35, and it's time for your Money Minute. It's sponsored by Busey Bank.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Big day yesterday for tech. Shares of Advanced Micro Devices rallied more than 18% in trading to finish the day at a record high. The artificial intelligence chipmaker boosted its financial outlook on a flood of data center spending. Though NVIDIA remains the dominant provider of AI processors, data center customers are increasingly looking to alternatives, which has helped AMD. Well, AMD gave a big lift to the markets yesterday. Traders have also been optimistic that a resolution to the Middle East conflict is in sight. The S&P 500 rose 1.5%. This morning, the stock rally fizzling out. S&P and Dow futures are little changed. And Sony Music is said to be finalizing a deal to acquire a music catalog from Blackstone that includes the works of Justin Bieber and Neil Young. If it goes through, it would be one of the largest deals of its kind in the music industry. Sources say the catalog of more than 45,000 songs could go for as much as $4 billion. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Since we opened our doors in 1868, Busey has fostered deep customer relationships and vibrant communities, embodying a legacy of partnership and progress. With multiple lines of business, we provide a range of financial solutions tailored to your needs. From digital banking to planning for retirement, Busey is here to help you achieve your financial goals. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
My dog Lola and I were out and about yesterday, and we ran into several other cute dogs, both of whom were from the Humane Society, as is my Lola, who was rescued from a puppy mill in southern Missouri by the Humane Society of Missouri. And I bring this up because the Humane Society of Missouri does such an amazing job helping animals find loving homes, sheltering homeless pets, and also rescuing abused and neglected animals all over the state of Missouri, not just dogs, but cats and rabbits and guinea pigs and horses and goats and you name it. Unlike many other organizations, though, the Humane Society of Missouri doesn't get any tax funding and no financial support from large organizations, so they rely solely on donations from compassionate people like you and me. Today, by the way, is Give STL Day, and your gift helps rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome vulnerable animals across Missouri. So help the Humane Society's mission of giving animals in need the second chance that they deserve. The Humane Society of Missouri would appreciate your support today for Give STL Day. You can go to hsmo.org/GiveSTL. And thanks for helping the animals.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470. Online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
741 on Total Information AM. That means we need to check the roadways with Roger Brand and the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, Brian, they just cleared a stalled auto eastbound 70 before Zumbel. There's still a bit of a backup from Cave Springs to that point, and then 5th Street into 270 is slow. Southbound 61 north of Wentzville Parkway onto 64 through Prospect is heavy. Clarkson to Timberlake, you're slow again at the Interbelt. Westbound 64 Science Center headed out through Hanley. You've got delays. Southbound 270, 364 down through Olive is pretty busy. North 270 from 55 all the way up through 44. There are pockets from 44 to Big Bend, but it remains heavy all the way up to Ladue. Even after that, 44 Bowles to Mraz is busy. North 55, the right lanes are Butler Hill. North of Bayless up through Holly Hills is kind of busy on that run. On the Illinois side, westbound 64, 50 through 159 is slow, and just a brief backup approaching Route 3 headed across the Poplar after that. Next update is 750 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
The new Haverty's Furniture Showroom is now open in Gravois Bluffs. Come visit us now. Ready to refresh your space with furniture that's built to last? The new Haverty's Furniture Showroom is now open in Fenton and Gravois Bluffs. Experience Haverty's regret-free guarantee for yourself and shop the latest in living rooms, bedrooms, and more. Visit Haverty's now in Gravois Bluffs.
742, let's check in with AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg, who's going to tell us more about our beautiful weather.
Yeah, it's nice outside right now. That'd be nice and sunny. It's cool. We're in the 40s to near 50, but it will warm to 69 today with sunshine and some clouds. Tonight should be mainly clear, not as cool as last night or low in the lower 50s. Some sun will give way to increasing clouds tomorrow, and Maybe a pop-up shower or two in the afternoon, perhaps even a rumble of thunder as our high reaches the low 70s. Saturday will be the nice day of the weekend by far and away. With sunshine, we'll get to 80. A front will barrel through the area late Saturday night and early Sunday, and with it, some showers, maybe a thunderstorm, but later Sunday, it will try to dry out, maybe some late-day sun. But the big thing is it's going to be a lot cooler Sunday, our high 67. Pleasant for Monday, back to sunshine, the high 74. Right now, it's 46 at St. Peter's, 49 in Florissant, 50 and sunny downtown at the Arch. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Cards are in San Diego tonight. I'll tell you more about that series straight ahead in sports.
The news continues at 7:43. The Republican challenging Governor J.B. Pritzker in this fall's election, taking another step away from his party's traditional base and toward the electoral middle, this time on the issue of abortion. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz reports.
Former state senator Darren Bailey has opposed abortion his entire political career. There are still messages on his campaign Facebook page that criticize Republicans for trying to de-emphasize it as an issue back in 2024. But now Bailey's telling followers on social media that he will not ban abortion and he will not restrict it, and that he has two jobs as the state's next governor, putting more money in people's pockets and making sure they can walk down the street safely, claiming the state's Democratic incumbent has failed at both.
He needs to reach independents in that Cook and DuPage County area.
Political analyst Paul Lisnick says Bailey's declaration about abortion is his latest attempt to peel off unaffiliated voters who may not like President Trump and who may be concerned about Pritzker's apparent interest in running for president.
They may be saying, look, I want to have a governor that's going to be here for 4 years, so I'm going to at least look at this other side, this other candidate.
But Lisnick says the big driver in this election will be the economy. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
A judge is allowing the Chicago Cubs lawsuit against one of those famous rooftop apartment buildings to proceed. The baseball team sued Wrigley View Rooftop in 2024, arguing the company is unfairly profiting off the team's product by selling tickets to watch games from outside the stadium confines.
But Sportico legal analyst Michael McCann tells CNN the rooftop owners pointing to the stadium's historic architecture.
The defense argument is basically going to be the Cubs, you have your ballpark, you have Wrigley Field, but you built it in a city where there are tall buildings and you don't have a dome, right? So this is sort of part of the nature of having an open facility in an urban area, is that there is the opportunity for people nearby to look in.
The Ins and Outs are sponsored by Innsbrook Resort, where every day is the weekend. Card starters had won 4 of the last 5 Cardinals wins before yesterday, when Andre Palante gave up 4 runs in the first and a 6-2 loss to the Brewers. He would settle in to go 6 innings, and manager Oliver Marmol said after the game that it wasn't all bad for Palante.
Not entirely. I thought Palante actually threw the ball well the first inning, got away from him, left his game plan to some degree, fell behind a couple guys, 2-1, 3-1 count after the hit by pitch that led to runs. And then a couple infield single, one broken bat single, and then the pitch that gets away there for another run. But overall, I thought he actually attacked, mixed well, landed his stuff, and gave us a shot in the first inning and just got away from him.
Tonight, it's Matthew Liberatore in the opener of a 3-game series at San Diego. Liberatore is 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA overall, and he's coming off his first win of the season. That was Friday against the Dodgers when he threw 5 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs. Right-hander Michael King works for the Padres. He's 3-2 with a 2.95 ERA. He dropped his last start. That was Saturday against the White Sox, where he allowed 4 runs, that is, on 6 hits. First pitch tonight is 9:10 Central Time. Ameren Total Access is at 8:15. Dick Vermeil, Mike Martz, Marshall Falk, Mike Jones, Adam Timmerman, Tom Newton, Andy McCullum, Jeff Scanina, all going to be back at the Dome. Those, of course, big names from the St. Louis Rams' greatest show on turf teams. They'll be honored Friday night at the Battlehawks game. Ricky Proehl was a wide receiver on that team and, of course, made the catch that sent the Rams to the Super Bowl. Now he coaches the Battlehawks. His son, Austin, also on the staff, and he was just 5 years old when that catch happened.
You know, we've talked about it a bunch. Obviously, he's told stories about it, and I've been around for a bunch of those. And, you know, it's a moment that really was a huge moment in St. Louis sports history in general, not just football, but sports history, you know, to make that catch and to go to the Super Bowl and then, you know, ultimately win it. I mean, it's a huge deal. And I think what a cool moment for the city and for that team.
Austin Prohl is the wide receivers coach for the Battlehawks, and he appeared with Chris and Amy earlier this week. Kickoff Friday against Columbus is at 7 o'clock at the Dome. Time for the parlay of the day, sponsored by Circus Sports. Now, I was perfect yesterday. If you listened to me, the Spurs covered and the over hit. Tonight, I'm taking both home teams. The Thunder minus 15.5 to go up 2-0 on the Lakers, and the Pistons also going up 2-0 in that series. They're minus 3.5 over the Cavaliers tonight. Circus Sports, sports betting the way it should be. I'm Joe Pott on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It's Tom Ackerman. I feel like there's always something new being built at Innsbruck. The new homes that have gone up, some of the new neighborhoods. There's a new pool that they unveiled this year. Innsbruck has grown over its 50 years. It is no longer a secret. It is the ultimate. When it comes to a resort in the St. Louis area, in the Midwest, people are coming from all over the Midwest to go to Innsbruck. You have a gem right here. It's just 45 minutes from our house. It's about an hour from downtown, minutes from Wentzville. It's in Warren County. It's off the Wright City exit. It's Innsbruck. And once you go through the gates at Innsbruck, you are welcomed into a world of 100 plus lakes, 7,500 acres, a golf course, fishing, hiking, great area for dining, shopping. It is phenomenal. It's Innsbruck. You're going to love Innsbruck. I know you will. Innsbruck-resort.com just to get started. That's Innsbruck-resort.com. Innsbruck Resort, where every day is the weekend.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
Total Information AM. The news continues on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It is 7:50. This is Total Information AM. I'm Debbie Monterrey, along with Brian Feldman and Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we've just got a short backup, Debbie, on eastbound 370 approaching 94 up to the Discovery Bridge work zone. If you're on eastbound Highway 70, 370 to Cave Springs is busy. We had that earlier stall at Zumbel. They cleared it, though. Eastbound 70 is also slow. East of 94 into 270. Southbound 61 north of Wentzville Parkway into 64 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. A couple of slow spots. A little busy at Clarkson. There's a slowdown east of Mason to 270, west of McKnight through the Interbelt. Just a couple of busy spots. South 170, though, bogs down. H all the way to 64. Westbound 64 Science Center out to Hanley, Catalina. Southbound 270 approaching 364 to Olive. Then it opens up north 270, 55 all the way up to Ladou's busy. 44 east of 141 to the Merrimack. A couple of heavy spots. The right lanes of 55 north of Butler Hill to 270. All lanes from Bayless up through Holly Hills. Test on Ferry's doing better. This is a shorter backup now at Butler Hill. Eastbound 30 Dolores into Gravois Bluff still backed up and slow. West Watson to 270. Northbound 141 jams from the Clayton Road exit all the way up through 64. And downtown westbound 64 west of 50 through 159 is backed up and then slow 3rd Street across the Poplar. Next update is 7:58 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It's going to be pretty nice. Some sun and clouds today. Breezy, warmer this afternoon. High of 69. Clear tonight. Low of 52. Tomorrow, some sun, but also a brief shower or two in the afternoon. Possibly some thunder. High of 72. Saturday, it's going to get up to 80 with sun and then 67 with a few showers potentially on Sunday and cooler in the afternoon. Right now, we have mostly sunny skies, and it is 47 degrees downtown at the Arch.
The news continues at 7:52. The number of Alzheimer's disease patients continues to rise in America.
122,000 Missourians aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's, 7.4 million nationally. And while 88% of adults say they know maintaining brain health is very important, only 9% say they know how to do it. The Alzheimer's Association's Daniel Hill has some advice.
Well, first and foremost, like any disease, I don't want to say there's any cure-all.
We want to focus on the things that we can do, though, to improve it. There's a great connection between the brain and your heart, right? So if you are cardiovascularly healthy, you're going to have a much better outcome with brain health. We want to focus on cognitive exercise, physical exercise, nutrition, and then health monitoring. That's why we so much encourage getting an early diagnosis.
So a good diet, good exercise, and good sleep all help contribute to keeping our brains healthy. Fred Bottomer, KMOX News.
A new report says Missouri's tech workforce expected to grow modestly this year.
CompTIA, an IT trending company, says its State of the Tech Workforce 2026 shows tech employment in Missouri is forecast to rise 1.2% this year, adding more than 1,900 jobs. Nationwide, employers are increasingly seeking AI-related skills across multiple industries, including technology, finance, manufacturing, administrative services, healthcare, and social services. The report also shows more than 44,000 tech-related job postings by Missouri employers in 2025, and just over 17,000 of those postings required AI skills. Marshall Griffin, Missouri Net.
The East St. Louis School District 189 is one of 3 schools in the nation to receive an award for green energy initiatives. Some of the initiatives include the addition of 25 electric school buses and the use of LED lighting to reduce energy consumption. The other winning school districts are in Washington State and Maryland.
The amount of protected Mississippi bluffland just 40 minutes south of downtown St. Louis exponentially increasing. The White Rock Nature Preserve being nearly tripled after gaining an expansion of almost 1,000 acres.
The move will connect the nature preserve to Salt Lick Point, bring the total amount of protected land to 2,300 acres.
By our estimate, this is one of the largest contiguous protected blocks of Mississippi bluffs anywhere in the state of Illinois.
Jim Johansson, Illinois State Director of Conservation Fund, says the expansion land is home to more than 19 threatened and endangered species and will open to the public in 2027.
If you thought summer races were too hot to compete in, think again. Go St. Louis bringing 4 evening short distance races to St. Louis this summer. Go President Mona Vespa says the late start times will offer relief to runners who want to stay active during the warmer months, and the shorter distances make the events more casual and fun.
The cool thing is, because they're every other week and they're spread out throughout the summer, if you participate in the whole series, you only need to do 3 of the 4 to have an opportunity to place in the series. So, just another level of competition that keeps it fun.
The first Summer Sizzle race is a 2-miler at Shaw Park on June 26th.
A small business success story. Dogtown Pizza started 20 years ago in Rick Shaper's kitchen. He says he would always make pizzas for his kids.
I was having a pizza party one day, and my neighbor, who's a firefighter, said, "I can't make it to your pizza party. Can you put one in the freezer and I'll bake it tomorrow?" And that's where I got the idea.
This year, Dogtown is on track to sell 2 million pizzas. They've moved out of Shaper's Dogtown kitchen for a production facility on the north side. He says nationwide, frozen pizza sales haven't declined in 40 years.
It's 7:56.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Here is Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
LW eastbound 370 slow approaching 94 to the Discovery Bridge due to road work. Eastbound Highway 70, 94 into Earth City is heavy. If you're on southbound 61, crossing over onto 64, it's slow to Lake St. Louis Boulevard, east of Mason to 270, and then from Lindbergh in through the Interbelt. South 170 bogs down, Olives to 64, westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley, north 270, 55, all the way up through Clayton Road, then a little back up through 64 after that. Northbound 55 still heavy up through Virginia. Next update at 8:10 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
It is 7:59. Today is Thursday, May 7th. It's Give STL Day. I'm Debbie Monterrey. A young documentary filmmaker wants us to have a different view of East St. Louis. You'll meet him after the news. Do you feel under pressure to get your body swimsuit ready? A local dietitian says extreme diets can make your body look and feel worse. A St. Louis fantasy writer weaves his medical condition into his stories. You'll learn more about that coming up at 8:40.
This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg. Sunshine mixed with clouds today. A breezy, warmer afternoon with a high of 69.
Megan Lynch is coming up next after CBS News at the Tone. It's 8 o'clock in Mid-America.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Bells at the Vatican, where Secretary of State Marco Rubio has just wrapped up a private meeting with Pope Leo. It comes a day after President Trump repeated his criticism of the pontiff's opposition to the Iran war. Correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The talks lasted about 2.5 hours. The State Department says they underscored the strong relationship between the U.S. and the Vatican and the shared commitment to promoting peace and human dignity. Rubio is also expected to meet with Italian officials who have strongly criticized the war with Iran.
Gas prices in the U.S. are inching closer to an average $5 a gallon. They're up to $4.56 today. Whirlpool has just warned fuel prices have triggered a recession-level decline in the appliance industry. There's devastation across Mississippi after twisters ripped through overnight. CBS News meteorologist Rob Marciano.
There were 14 reported tornadoes across the state, and Mississippi's Emergency Management Agency says hundreds of homes were impacted. A little farther north, another tornado ripped the roofs off homes in the town of Purvis, causing some walls to collapse. The remains of the living rooms now exposed to the elements.
We're learning more about what's said to be a suicide message from the late convicted sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Nicole Skanga.
This note, potentially written by convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, appears to read in part, "They investigated me for months, found nothing. It is a treat to be able to choose one's time to say goodbye."
The message had been sealed from public view for the last 7 years. Police in Erie, Pennsylvania say scammers stole thousands of dollars from Walmart shoppers using skimmers.
The thieves installed the skimmer devices on the card readers at the store's self-checkout terminals.
Welcome. Please scan your first item.
The skimmers recorded shoppers' card data and PINs, giving the thieves access to those accounts. In all, they stole more than $38,000 from 80 Walmart customers. Police say the store's surveillance video caught the suspects tampering with the checkout terminals. The analytics company FICO says skimming scams surged 90% last year. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
More bad press for Twinkies and potato chips.
Research published in the European Heart Journal found that adults with diets high in ultra-processed foods have up to a 19% higher risk of developing heart disease and up to 65% increased risk of cardiovascular death compared to people with diets very low in ultra-processed foods.
CBS's Jared Hill. Dow futures up 119, oil below 100. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
At 8:03, we have sunny skies, 49 degrees downtown at the Arch. Today is Thursday, May 7th. I'm Megan Lynch. Today is Give St. Louis Day, the 12th annual event centered around donating to local nonprofits. It runs until 10 a.m. tomorrow. Currently, the online donation page has received more than $760,000 since the site went live at midnight. You can give today at givestltoday.org. A lawsuit challenging Missouri's takeover of the St. Louis Police Department went to trial Wednesday in Jefferson City. A criminologist testified overall violent crime dropped under local control, though the state pointed to a rise in homicides during that same period. Co-plaintiff Jamala Rogers tells Fox 2 the fight is about more than crime numbers.
It violated the vote of the majority of people in the state of Missouri, so that's the primary thing.
The trial continues this morning at 9 at the Cole County Courthouse in Jefferson City.
This is amazing to see this many people show up today to get something, like I said, it takes 5-6 months. We're doing it in 4 hours.
St. Louis police officer Darius Rutling on the force 12 years, now assigned to the police academy, talking about the SLMPD holding a fast track testing blitz, a hiring event to recruit a new group of police officers.
Officer Rutling explains what the process was like before this fast track testing blitz.
Normally you come in, you'll take the physical abilities test, and like 2 months, 3 months later, you'll get another notification to come back and take the lead, the law enforcement aptitude battery test. And in 3-4 months, you'll get another notification to come and take the oral board. We're doing this in hours. So you just finish the PAT test, come downstairs and take the lead. You don't have to leave, go over here and do the oral board all today.
Rutling estimates about 100 people applied to be St. Louis police officers. If the recruits are accepted, they will have to go back for a psychiatric evaluation. There's also a background check. You cannot have a police record and be a police officer. As far as the age, you should be 21. Right now, the department is down about 300 officers. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
Clamping a boot on a car is one of the city's most effective tools to collect unpaid parking fines. St. Louis hasn't used it since 2018. Treasurer Adam Lane says while the boot is officially back in service, the department is limiting the initial rollout to ensure the logistics of the program are functioning correctly after 8 years on the shelf.
Right. So we rolled it out in small increments to make sure our process was right. Having not done it in almost a decade, things have changed. Personnel have changed. The way we dispatch and work with our partners over in the towing division has changed. So we want to make sure all that is ironed out.
Lane says the program is currently targeting high priority offenders who owe at least $1,500 in fines. Then they'll move on to cars abandoned in residential neighborhoods. People with high balances are encouraged to set up a payment plan through the office's assistant program to avoid the boot list. Frustrations over trash pickup have the St. Louis County Council demanding answers.
Following a flurry of constituent complaints, council members are organizing a committee hearing to investigate the delays. Councilman Mark Harder of West County says the public's anger seems to point toward a specific contractor, and he wants to get that company into the hot seat.
My office is getting calls. It seems to be focused around Waste Connections is the supplier or the vendor, and I think we probably need to have them appear before us as well when we do decide to have that committee meeting.
The council is working to schedule that hearing with multiple members noting the problem is impacting neighborhoods across the county. Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
KMOX has reached out to get Waste Connections' side of the story. We have not heard back from them yet. Expect to pay more to park at the airport starting July 1st. The St. Louis Airport Commission has approved rate hikes for 5 lots and 2 parking garages at Lambert, along with turning Lot E near Terminal 2 into a reservation lot. Airport Director Rhonda Homnebergy says reserved parking is something travelers have been requesting for a long time and can be done on a new app. It'll be $10 to reserve a spot, $27 a day. Despite the price hike, an airport spokesman Lambert says Lambert's parking fees are still among the nation's least expensive. From the KMOX business desks, visitors and new businesses on the rise at the City Foundry. The development says it had 2.3 million visitors last year. That's an almost 7% increase in visitorship compared to 2024. It's also adding 6 new businesses this year, including a piercing studio, a coffee shop, and a 3-story sports bar. Coming up on Total Information AM, you're going to meet a documentary videographer, Jarrell Canty. He is from East St. Louis, and he wants to give us a different view of his hometown. That's after traffic and weather coming up in 2 minutes here on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very good friend John Moriarty from E3 Wealth. John and I go back years and years and years. John, it's great to have you back in the DGS fold. Tell everyone who's unfamiliar with E3 Wealth what you guys are all about.
Thanks, Dave. So happy to be back. E3, the 3 E stand for Educate, Empower, Enlighten. We founded the firm, and sometimes we refer to it as E3 Consultants Group, because we want to proactively challenge the status quo as to how Americans are educated about money and finance-related decisions. It's a lot. So really what we try to do for our clients is help them think differently about money. And recently we've been doing a ton of things with business owners because we see that as an area where we can provide tremendous growth for them, because we can help them build wealth through their business and also reduce their income tax liabilities. And when you can do that for a business owner, it makes a huge difference in their life.
It's kind of one-stop shopping for all finances, personal and business.
Absolutely. Yes, that's our focus. That's what we're attempting to do with our new book that's coming out called The Entrepreneur Playbook. We're going to be able to help a lot of people understand strategies, ideas on how to build their wealth and also protect it.
So John is a total pro, completely vouch for him as a person. Love this guy. No pressure, no hard sales. You want to learn more about your finances, personal and business, reach out to John at e3wealth.com.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. This hour of Total Information AM is sponsored by Gamma Tree Experts. Total Information AM on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Let's see how the drive into work is going. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, in general, it's doing better, Megan, but we're still very busy. I mean, North 270 still is bogged down north of 55 all the way up to do those ramps east and west 64, getting on to North 270 or bumper to bumper. Eastbound Highway 70 is thinned out. Westbound Highway 70 is a little slow at O'Fallon Park, like Adelaide to O'Fallon Park, and then again right around the city limits. Eastbound 370, west of 94 to the Discovery Bridge is slow. 64 from 70 to Lake St. Louis Boulevard is heavy, and then Lindbergh through the Innerbelt. Westbound 64, Hampton to Hanley, you've got delays. If you're on northbound 55, Bayless through Virginia is the busiest part, and on the Illinois westbound 64 still slow. West of 50 through 159. After that, just a little heavy approaching Route 3, getting on to the Poplar, and eastbound 44 approaching the Poplar out over to the Musial Veterans Bridge is also off the pace. Next update at 8:20 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
A nice day today weather-wise. After a chilly start, sunshine and some clouds. It'll become breezy and a bit warmer for the afternoon, high 69. Mainly clear tonight, though 52. Some sun will give way to increasing clouds tomorrow. The breeze will pick up, and there'll be a shower or two in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm, high 72. Back to some sunshine and warmer weather for Saturday, the high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
We do have sunny skies this morning, 49 degrees in Florissant, St. Peter's, and downtown at the Arch. This is Total Information AM on 104.1 FM KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. The view of the Gateway Arch from the east side is different than the view from the west, and our next guest wants us to take that view and challenge us to think and act beyond challenging circumstances. Jarrell Canty is a photographer and videographer. His upcoming film is East St. Louis, Roads That Lead Back Home. Welcome to KMOX.
Thank you so much, Megan. I appreciate this. Thank you.
I was excited when I saw that we have a connection to Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. We're both grads of that program there. So,
yes, indeed.
Yeah, I got a good education there myself. So Tell us a little bit about your journey. This is another job for you. You've got a full-time job already.
Yes.
This is your passion. Tell us a little bit about what you do and the images that you've already captured of East St. Louis.
Yes, well, the main idea of like capturing East St. Louis, I started in SIUE. It's based around the idea of I'm inspired by the lack of inspiration that surrounds me. Not only taking it as like something of like dilapidated buildings or degradation, but it's also like inspiration to express the beauty of it from like starting as a foundation and to possibly actually lead it to something more positive and more healthy to actually build the essence of like resilience of everyone that's in that area to also like think forward and also to think more positively and actions to proceed forward and actually like lay a positive legacy as it goes forward. So that's what the idea of the documentary I'm working on to lead more into.
Well, East St. Louis has an incredible history.
Yes, indeed.
Incredible legacy, amazing people that have come out of East St. Louis and done, fantastic things. How do you stay positive when, some of the images that you have on your website show, things that have left to decay?
I come from like the essence of, like I said before, as a foundation, and actually use that as fuel to where like I also listen to like some of my favorite like inspirational speakers turn pain into prize, and that's why I'm more seeking and trying to lead more into with that.
How hard is it as an independent filmmaker to launch a project like this off the ground?
We were taking like the challenges, like getting people together, setting up schedules for people to do interviews, but I've also like shot like B-roll so far, but I plan on doing some more with also like fellow creatives that's in the area, which I'm very much looking forward to, and actually working with them as well, see their perspective on how they can help and stuff like that, and actually add like to the positive legacy in the area.
Now, we were talking about, we have a common location, Centerville. You grew up actually in Centerville, one of the areas right around East St. Louis, and that's where my husband's family is from. Talk about, what the area needs. What the area needs to really be vital again.
It's possibly like much more the need of like funding, also more essence of positive communication, more groundwork for more people to come in and actually understand what's going on in the area regardless of like economic or societal hindrances, and like come together and actually think of more of a positive outlook on the city, because East St. Louis and Centerville, like Arlington and Washington Park, is like prime real estate just to look over into St. Louis as well. So it's definitely, it can be worked on both sides to build more of like an enlightening experience for everyone.
Does it sometimes feel like the river is just huge? That gap between the east side and St. Louis?
Yes, indeed, especially for early morning commute. So yes.
Where is your film at in the process?
It's at the beginning stages. Like I'm actually like, I have a B-roll, but pretty soon I'm going to start late this month in May or early next month in June, to where I'm going to schedule like interviews, more B-roll, and also to where like actually give like a encompassing essence to like the meanings between like from the past and make it in tune with the future, and I had to lead forward and I plan on like releasing at the end of this year or early next year. So
when you talk B-roll, now you're talking industry terms there. Explain to our listeners who may not be familiar with the film and the TV industry what B-roll is.
Yes, indeed. B-roll is like where you capture like secondary shots of like the environment, whether it be like still shots, like of the environment, of like buildings, the lighting, either during the day or at night, of like showing like movement, but being still as you see the shot, but like movements in front of you, of seeing like things are still in progression and still like there's still life that's present. Yes, indeed.
So, when we talk about the film industry in Illinois, of course, we just got approval and some funding in the state of Illinois. How exciting is that for you as someone who is in photography and videography?
That it's very inspiring to where like not also like filmmakers like myself, but also other filmmakers to actually like dive into like something that's purposeful for them, and also they want to see like the world as around them. They want to share with an audience as well and see how their perspective is in like congruence, or how it compares, or what is need to be learned, or like a history or anything that's educational for that type of purpose and meaningful essence of itself.
As a filmmaker, what support do you feel like you need, for projects like this?
Just well, so far with this project, I've got like a lot of support and positive recognition through like social media, word of mouth, And people just like, they really enjoy to see something like this come from this area or anything else, to where like it can be reached from nationwide or even across the world, to where like it inspires people to think something different and actually think more positive.
Do those channels nowadays where you can share things on social media yourself, on YouTube, do those places give, independent filmmakers more avenues to spread their projects?
From what I've seen, it has, but it's also the basis of a consistency, well thought planning and scheduling. Because I've seen like there's things called like the algorithm, but also like if it hits, like if it has like a deep impact on like people that see it, it's definitely going to be seen regardless if that's in place or not.
Okay, so again, what kind of view do you want to give us of your hometown?
Very positive, because it's still beautiful people. It's still present. It still has a very landmark, a strong landmark in American history. So,
and a lot of rebuilding that's been going on.
It's indeed.
Yeah.
Because there used to be like an old SIUE building that just got truly renovated, and it's like used as a for like the elderly right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see them redo that historic. I think it was it a theater that you can see from Interstate 55? For a while, it had trees growing out of it. It's got the unusual brickwork. People probably have driven by, know what I'm talking about. I would love to see that one redeveloped as well.
Is it the Majestic?
Yes.
I've actually shot in there.
Have you?
Yes, I have. I got to the roof of there and shot from there to St. Louis. So yes.
Oh, wow. So I'd love to see those photos. What is your website for people who want to check it out?
My website is www.jerelcanty.com. That's JERELCANTY, where you see my photos, my videography, and you also see my social media handles. Is mostly Jerel Canty. So on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, X, formerly Twitter. Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. The movie East St. Louis Roads That Lead Back Home, the documentary that you're working on. Keep us updated on how it's going.
Most definitely, I will.
All right, Jerel, thanks for coming in studio this morning. Coming up next on Total Information AM, are you feeling under pressure to get your body swimsuit ready? We're going to talk about some of the dangers of doing those crash diets. Michelle Wilson, registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition, will tell us more about that coming up. We need to get a check of the roads first, though, with Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we still got slow going on North 270, Megan. This traffic reports the service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. Delays approaching Gravois pretty much all the way up to Ladue. It's pretty busy running that route right now. Eastbound 64 at Prospect, there's just a little slowdown, and it's still bogged down east of Spady all the way into Big Bend. 170 between the Parkway and 64 both ways is kind of slow actually right now. Westbound 64 Hampton to Hanley is heavy. 55 not as bad, just a couple of slowdowns from Bayless up through Holly Hills. Eastbound 44 Park over to the Poplar, and then 70 out from the Arch Grounds through to about Salisbury's heavy, and a little slowdown westbound 70 at the city limits, and westbound 64 west of 50 through 159 is still heavy in that construction zone. Next update at 8:30 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for, I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Retirement Simplified, May 19th and 21st. It's complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're back with Total Information AM here on KMOX. I'm Megan Lynch. It's almost Memorial Day when the pools are open and you have to put on a swimsuit. Michelle Wilson is a registered dietitian with Brands Nutrition. We recently sat down to talk about the pressure to get your body swimsuit ready. What's the first thing that comes in your mind when you see advertisements or some kind of social media post that says, you've got to get that body swimsuit ready?
So many things. So for one, I do work with people with eating disorders, and getting ready for the summer, getting ready for swimsuit season is definitely a trigger for eating disorders. But even if you don't have an eating disorder, it can feel like there's pressure to change your body, pressure to look maybe the way that you're seeing people advertise. I feel like advertisements and even certain brands might only show models that are in smaller bodies. So there's definitely a lot of pressure that people might feel and to incorporate some sort of dieting or lose weight for summer. But I like to say that all bodies are beach bodies. Like, you don't have to change your body in order to prepare for summer, but it might be good to get a swimsuit that fits.
How do you help someone go from the mindset of food is kind of a bad thing when summer comes? Eating too much is a bad thing. Those messages that we tend to ingest, to really appreciating your body and looking to fuel it.
Absolutely. So I think that something that stands out to me for summertime of like that fluctuation that might naturally happen between winter and summer, our bodies naturally change. So whenever it's winter time, we kind of naturally going to eat more and hibernate more and move less. And then in the summertime, we naturally eat less, move more, and our bodies will fluctuate from larger to smaller through the seasons naturally. I think that people try and force that to happen or feel like they need to compensate in some way for that natural cycle that happens from the winter time. So I think just recognizing like we're mammals, we're humans, and our bodies are going to fluctuate, and that's okay. And even we change throughout time, like our bodies age, our bodies change in function, it changes in what we're asking it to do, and just having leniency, our bodies are naturally going to shift, and they're going to be different than other bodies. So challenging that comparison too is really important, because everybody's body is different. We have different genetics. We have different things we ask our body to do. So we're going to look different than other people. And when they're wearing swimsuits, it might not look the same as when we wear the swimsuits.
How dangerous is it when people try to do an extreme diet or completely change their eating habits to try to fit that ideal in their mind?
So extreme dieting, crash dieting, even just diet cycling in general can be really rough on our bodies. 95% of diets don't work is the statistic, right? And I like to say like, well, what's the other 5%? Because it probably doesn't work either, right? But the things that we're doing for dieting is going to cause us to have muscle wasting. If we're attempting to not fuel our bodies appropriately, then it's going to go in conservation mode. We can reduce down our metabolism by doing that on accident. It can be really rough on the systems in our bodies that are having to slow down. Whenever we talk about slowing down our metabolism, it's not just how quickly our body is burning through fuel, it's the processes that have to slow down to conserve that energy. So that doesn't just mean, I burn less food. It means that my heart rate is trying to slow down, my digestive system's trying to slow down, my digestive enzymes are trying to produce less, my hormones are trying to produce less to survive on the little bit that we're giving it. And it's going to try to prioritize your heart and your brain and your lungs, because it doesn't want to die. It wants to keep living, right? But it's not going to prioritize things that aren't going to keep you alive, or that aren't So it's like the things that aren't necessarily a priority would be like hormone production, for instance, and then we're throwing our hormones all out of whack. So there's a lot of those systems. And then one that I also point out is hair, skin, and nail growth is not a priority. So if you start seeing your hair falling out, you're having brittle nails, or your skin is suddenly drier or oilier, like there's something going on there, then that's a sign that you're having malnutrition. And so sometimes people pay more attention to that. They're more concerned about that. They might not really pay attention to like, oh, my heart rate's being weird, I'm feeling lightheaded or dizzy, as much as they might feel like, oh, my hair's falling out. So whenever we're extreme dieting, our body takes the hit in some way, whether we see it or not. And it might not always impact the scale, but it can impact the body system. So working with a professional can help prevent those things from happening, or even just increase awareness of actually that's why that's going on. It's not normal to feel lightheaded or dizzy. And that's why that's starting to happen.
That is Michelle Wilson with Brands Nutrition. Coming up on Total Information AM, we're going to tell you the latest on the charges against the Southern Poverty Law Center. It's now 8:28, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, and Electrical, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98 with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
8:30, let's try to help you avoid some of the slowdowns this morning. Roger Brand is in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, we got a little trouble spot on northbound 55 right now, Megan. It's northbound 55 at Highway A. The overpass, there's an oversized load that got stuck under the overpass. It's in the right lane, so the left lane is open. So as you're coming up North 55 into 67, make sure you get in that left lane because the right lane is shut down right now because of that incident, and police are on the way to deal with it as best they can, obviously. If you're on northbound 55 after that, north of Bayless up to Holly Hill, still a little slow. North 270, still a slowdown north of Gravois, and north of 44 all the way to Ladue, still pretty busy. Eastbound 64, east of Lindbergh to Big Bend, still heavy. Westbound 64, bogged down Hampton to Hanley. Westbound Highway 70 past the Mutual Veterans Bridge and at the city limits, a little slow. And on the Illinois side, westbound 64, just a little slowdown now past 159. Next update at 8:40 from the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it looks like we're going to have a sunny day for the most part with a few clouds, breezy and warmer, a high of 69. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 52. Right now, sunshine 47 in downtown St. Louis. Lawyers for the Southern Poverty Law Center will make their first court appearance in a fraud case. AP correspondent Mike Hempen has more.
Attorneys for the Southern Poverty Law Center are set to appear at an arraignment this afternoon in Montgomery, Alabama. It's the first hearing since the civil rights group was accused of defrauding donors by failing to disclose that money would be paid to informants inside extremist groups. The SPLC has a long history of working to combat discrimination and racism, primarily in the Deep South. It denies any wrongdoing. The group says payments to informants helped it monitor threats of violence from extremist groups and save lives. I'm Mike Hempen.
The Southern Poverty Law Center told a federal court earlier this week that law enforcement agencies have long known the nonprofit paid informants to report on the movements of hate groups, rejecting assertions that the nonprofit steered money to the Ku Klux Klan and other extremist groups without the knowledge of authorities. Prosecutors say the group was manufacturing the extremism it claims to oppose by, quote, paying sources to stoke racial hatred. Justice Department officials have said these are the first charges in an ongoing investigation. It's now 8:33. Your Money Report is next.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs, attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Take advantage of our Mother's Day sale, which starts now. It's our best deal of the year. Save up to 60% off. Visit legacybox.com/radio and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. legacybox.com/radio.
Your Money Report now. It's sponsored by Amon Gatner and Capriano Elder Law Attorneys. Here's Bloomberg's Courtney Donahoe.
McDonald's is reeling in the diners with souped-up value offerings and bigger burgers, leading to larger orders even in the face of economic pressures. Quarterly revenue topped Wall Street expectations, sending shares higher. McDonald's says bigger orders boosted results in the U.S. In the quarter, the chain debuted a pricier Big Arch burger, which costs as much as $10 in some cities. Checking on the market, stocks are holding on after the S&P 500 hit another record high. Stocks have shaken off war-driven losses as traders hope for a resolution to the Middle East conflict. Futures are moving higher this morning. And the CEO of GameStop says his eBay account was suspended following a publicity stunt in which he listed a number of personal items to fund his bid for the online marketplace. Ryan Cohen's account racked up scores of bids, totaling tens of thousands of dollars for a hodgepodge of items, which included baseball cards, an unopened package of Windows 2000 software, and a pair of socks. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-292-4382. That's 800-292-4382.
800-292-4382.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
It's Tom Ackerman. I have the Mother's Day to remember. You ready for this? May 9th and 10th at Warm Springs Ranch for the Budweiser Clydesdales Parade of Champions. May 9th and 10th, this weekend, a never-before open-to-the-public chance to see the majestic Clydesdales, braided, polished, showcased like true champions. You can watch them parade alongside their offspring and experience the world-renowned breeding program up close at Warm Springs Ranch. Live demonstrations. Meet a Clydesdale up close. Your ticket includes all-inclusive food and drink. Browse the gift shop. Make a full day of it. This is May 9th and 10th, 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Bring a lawn chair, bring the family. Kick off the summer with the Clydesdales. Visit warmspringsranch.com. Tickets are limited for this exclusive event. warmspringsranch.com with the Budweiser Clydesdales.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
This is 104.1 FM KMOX. Here's what's happening. Officials and experts in Argentina are scrambling to figure out if their country is the source of a deadly hantavirus outbreak that's gripped an Atlantic cruise. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is now the second longest serving justice in history, overtaking someone who was nominated by President Abraham Lincoln. Thomas's tenure as of today tops 34 years. And Apple has agreed to a $250 million settlement in a class action lawsuit over false advertising of Siri's AI capabilities. The lawsuit claims Apple misled consumers by promoting features that did not exist when the iPhone 16 launched in 2024. Still ahead on Total Information AM this hour, a St. Louis fantasy writer weaves his medical condition into his stories. We'll talk to him coming up. And then a little bit later, do you wish there was a book club for your kids that had evening hours? Well, guess what? The St. Louis County Library delivers. We're going to learn more about that coming up. Let's learn more about the roads now, though, from Roger Brand. He's in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
Well, good news on northbound 55, Megan. They took care of that oversized semi that was stuck under the highway overpass. So both lanes are back open north 55. There's still a short jam, though, south of 67. I can't tell what's blocking, but there's an incident north 270 north of Gravois. Traffic bunched up a bit there, and it's still slow. Big Bend all the way up to 64. Eastbound 64, McKnight through Hanley is still heavy. Westbound 64, the Science Center to Hanley, that's still slow. And westbound Highway 70 still busy between the Musel Veterans and McKinley Bridges, and then heavy past the city limits. I'm Roger Brand in the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis Traffic Center.
And checking that forecast for today, it looks like it's going to be a little bit warmer. Sunny skies, a few clouds, though, and breezy, a high of 69. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 52. And then tomorrow, we're looking for some sun with increasing clouds as the day goes on. We may actually see a brief shower or two in the afternoon tomorrow, a high of 72. Right now, we do have sunny skies, 49 degrees in downtown St. Louis. What do fantasy books and arthritis have in common? Well, you're about to find out. St. Louis-based author Stephen Rowland, his pen name is S.L. Rowland, has written multiple fantasy book series, including Tales of Adria. He's woven his experience with arthritis into a character's storyline. I spoke with Stephen and Leah Levin, development manager for the Central West region of the Arthritis Foundation.
So I think, arthritis, it's a very invisible disease. You can't really see it. And so I have inflammatory arthritis. Ankylosing spondylitis is the technical name, but it's basically an autoimmune disease. And it's less I think a lot of times people think arthritis, affecting your bones, but this is really more soft tissue, your joints, your ligaments. And I'm 38 now. I first started having symptoms in my early 30s. It took about 4 years to get a diagnosis, and then once I did, I started infusions and biologics, and those have helped a great deal. And I used the kind of inspiration of like what I was going through, the pain in my joints, as a basis for the blood magic in Cursed Cocktails, one of my cozy fantasy novels. And the premise of that is that the main character, he's used his magic to defend the realm, and so now he's retired and he's looking to move to a warmer climate where he can, hopefully find relief. And I think that was kind of a bit of a wish fulfillment for me, to see that. But I've had so many people who have reached out to me and said how much that representation meant to them. Because when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really know anyone who had, my specific type of arthritis. And it's one of the more rare ones, but there's a community out there.
You've created, several fantasy worlds. Give us some ideas of, what these worlds are like, and maybe how this was a perfect way to incorporate this topic into fantasy.
The world that Cursed Cocktails is set in is called Tales of Adria, and it's this epic world that I wanted to use to like fill with small scale, like cozy stories. And so far I'm working on the 5th one, but each one takes place in a different location across this huge epic world. And I get to dive in and explore a lot of different, characters, like older characters with, disabilities, people struggling with different, avenues of their life, and tell those stories of character development in a more cozy setting. I like to call it feel-good fantasy, that they serve as like really good palate cleansers between, darker, more epic, heavy reads. And, a lot of people will read one after they finish the big series, kind of just to reset for the next thing.
I keyed in on what you said about how readers have really related to this. What are some of the things they connect with you on through this character in particular?
I mean, I think just, representation is a very important thing, especially in fantasy. You're already in a secondary world. A lot of times you're with, non-human characters. Like the main character in Cursed Cocktails, he's an elf. But even with those fantastical elements, it's nice to be able to see yourself represented in a character that you might not normally see in other types of media. And I think it's nice to be able to relate, to understand the struggle of, when your body is telling you need to calm down, and like that you can't maybe do all the things you used to do when you were younger. I think that's a very relatable situation to be in.
Leah, this seems so unique that you're able to have a keynote speaker that brings such a different perspective. What's this do for your movement to try to gain awareness and funds for research?
Yeah, definitely. Stephen has been so great to work with, and just hearing him talk about his journey with arthritis and how he like turned that into, into his passion, and like writing is his passion. And it's just really cool to see. And I think too, with the awareness, like his reach is so broad, and like there's so many people affected by arthritis. 1.4 million Missourians have arthritis, and that, includes adults and children as well. So nationally, we have 60 million Americans that have arthritis, including 300,000 children, which I think the misconception is that arthritis only affects older people and it just, the wear and tear, but that's really not the case. There's over 100 different types of arthritis. Again, people don't understand it. And so he's reaching an audience that so many people be like, oh my gosh, like I went through something similar to that. And now they like really are learning about arthritis and his specific type and how it affects him. So it's just really cool to work with him. And he's already fundraised over $2,500. And I mean, we're still a month out. So it's just, yeah, he's been great. And just, I think it's really elevated the event too.
What have you seen as far as advances in research and awareness of arthritis?
Yeah, I think, as the years go by, that's definitely one of our goals, just to spread more awareness. I mean, I think just education is so important. But I think with these events and having honorees sharing their story and reaching bigger audiences, it's definitely our progress in different research for specific disease types. That's really important to us. I think it's just grown tremendously. And this year is our 25th anniversary of the Walk to Cure Arthritis. So we're trying to make this one the best one yet and keep going. And yeah.
Stephen, what's it like for you to kind of, in a way, find this community and meet with other people who are walking the same path?
I think it's very cool to just have other people that like understand what you're going through, that have been through it, and maybe their journey is a little different, but I think we all have an understanding to some degree of like the struggles, and like some days are better than others, and just to not feel like you're completely alone, because before I was diagnosed, it was a very tumultuous time, like mentally and physically, and just know that there are other people out there going through that, that can help in a lot of ways.
So, Leah, give us a few details of the event coming up and how people can get involved.
Yeah, so our Walk to Cure Arthritis is on Saturday, May 16th at Logan University in Chesterfield. It's a Saturday morning. And so, like I said, it's our 25th anniversary of the event. And we're just really excited to bring new activities. We have yoga, we have Zumba, a bunch of very kid-friendly event. We have the bubble bus coming, the coffee truck. We even this year have a hospitality area for our furry friends because, as you know, dogs also get arthritis as well, and they're a great companion too. So if people are interested in joining, they could register as an individual, form a team, join Stephen's team if they're interested, or make a donation. And the website is walktocurearthritis.org/St. Louis.
That is Leah Levin with the Arthritis Foundation and author Stephen Rowland. The website again is walktocurearthritis.org/St. Louis.
Total Information AM. Debbie Monterrey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman on 104.1 FM KMOX.
I am going to have a number that you'll want to write down. So just a warning in advance to get a pen or pencil ready or to jot this down in your phone, because you probably already know it's hard to find good help these days, especially if you're searching for at-home caregivers. They are in very short supply. Families are stretched thin. It's a crisis in home health right now. But there is Freedom Care, created just for this. Freedom Care, with more than 160,000 families served already, 97% satisfaction rate. The number to call is 314-947-5139. Now, what is Freedom Care? Through Medicaid, Freedom Care lets your family choose a trusted friend or relative as the caregiver. Maybe somebody who's already giving your loved one care, someone who already knows the routines and needs. This could be meals, medications, bathing, mobility. Caregivers will be getting paid, sometimes daily. No long wait lists, no rotating strangers in and out of your house, and 100% free to you. Freedom Care handles all the paperwork for somebody with Medicaid. So call 314-947-5139, 314-947-5139 for Freedom Care.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com. Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
The St. Louis County Library is launching a new kids book club with details. St. Louis County Library Director Kristen Sorth joins me this morning on the Quiver River Electric Gas Line. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
So my first question is, are there no kids book clubs, or what is new about this?
Not for younger kids. This is really for kids ages 3 to 9. And there's a couple of things that are different about this. We have story time, but this is more of like a kind of a traditional book club where there's a different book every month and we move it around to different branches, and also it's in the evening, so we are always looking for events and things that we can do for families who have working parents or caregivers, and so this is a launch of that kind of program.
I'm sure this is something that parents have really been wanting. What kinds of books and activities do you plan for this?
It's going to be really fun books. Our youth services department have picked a lot of really cute, engaging books. And there's going to be a librarian-led read aloud, and then there'll be a simple hands-on activity. And then after that, families can explore the library and discover all the things that different branches are offering. And we really hope to encourage people to visit branches that they haven't been to before. We did that last year with our Branch Out program, and we want to keep that going.
What's it take to try to put programming like this together?
Well, we have really amazing and talented and smart and fun staff. And so they really think of all kinds of fun things to do. And anything I think that's a read aloud for a book is something really great for kids. And then they have such good ideas for simple hands-on activities. And we're also going to have a passport for families who can kind of keep track of all the events they've been to. And then if they attend all the book club events, they'll be eligible for a prize.
Kristen, what do we know about kids who we get engaged in reading at these young ages?
The earlier, the better. You know, we have all kinds of programs for kids under 3 for babies. We have lap time and a bunch of other activities for kids. But we know the earliest that they start hearing words read to them and the earlier they develop a love of books and the library, the better they do in terms of reading on grade level when they get into school.
Do you need any registration for the first program coming up?
You do have to register, and you can register online. And the first one is May 14th, and then they will be every month for an entire year at different branches. The next one is June 11th at the Florissant Valley branch.
Kristen, anything else you'd tell us about this?
I think that's it. Just that we want families and caregivers to come out, bring their kids, explore a new branch, and come and have fun at the library in the evening.
That is Kristen Sorth, director of the St. Louis County Library. The next date again for the Kids Book Club is May 14th, 6 p.m. at the St. Louis County Library's Grants View branch.
All clear. I'm Fred Bottomer with 60 Seconds to Better Health. Infant formulas have been put to the test. Here's the AP's Ed Donahue.
A study by the Food and Drug Administration confirms the safety of infant formula. More than 300 samples of commercial infant formula were tested between 2023 and last year for heavy metals, including lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury. The FDA says levels of all contaminants were undetectable or very low. Pesticides were also tested, as well as chemicals found in plastics and substances sometimes called forever chemicals. Outside experts generally agreed with the government's assessment, but others say the detection of some of these compounds at all is concerning. The European Union, Canada, and Australia have enforceable limits for heavy metals in infant formulas. The U.S. does not.
With 60 Seconds to Better Health, I'm Fred Bottomer.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Health Trends, sponsored